Thank you. Hello, and welcome to the Potomac Curling Club. This is the second draw at the Embassy Row Bonspiel. Our theme this year is Cuba. We are featuring sheet B as in boy for all of our webcasts at this event. And we have in pool play, in Pool C, from the Diamond State Curling Club, we have a Rocas Calientes, skipped by Jordan Hudson. Her vice is Kevin Eller. Her second is Sharon Graney. And her lead is Jessica Calvin. And they are playing one of the home teams, like Sweep to the Slaughter, skipped by Todd Moyer, viced by John Hale. The second is Chip Churlo, and the lead is TJ Kasser. Like Sweep to the Slaughter, we'll be playing red. You can think of that like red like blood, since they've got slaughter in their name. That'll be easy for me to remember that way. And of course, our other colors of rocks here at the Potomac Curling Club are yellow, and that's going to be Rocas Calientes. They're just ringing the bell here in the warm room. You can hear them in the background talking.
That we have a three-way tie in 2-1, where each one of the 2-1 teams has defeated each other along the way. If that should happen, we're going to use a draw to the pin to break the ties. Otherwise, the head-to-head matchup should be able to do the tiebreaker for us. If anybody needs a spare throughout the rest of the day, please try to stay within 2 hours. It is an untimed game. We're not going to kick you off the ice, but we'd like to stay on schedule at the same time. So please try and keep the speed of play moving and be done within 2 hours. I think that covers everything I announced earlier. Good curling, everyone. The ice is ready, and I forgot to switch the sheets over on the wall.
Click the slate to turn it off. That slate.
Okay, we have done our pre-game announcements here in the warm room. I'm sorry you could not hear, but trust me, they were riveting. Riveting. The teams are taking the ice. The home team does have the hammer. That's the red team, like Sweep to the Slaughter. We're just going to call them red. It is a great name. Wait, Nick is joining me here on the bike, and he's using this one, so we're going to make him louder now.
Oh,
Hey.
look, I can hear myself. Oh my
Hi,
goodness.
Nick. This is Nick
Hello.
Datlow joining us. I'm FL Etlin. We're both longtime curlers and members of the Potomac Curling Club. How did that happen, Nick?
I don't know. I don't tell anyone as you broadcast this over the internet that I turned 40 this year, and I'm just like, when did that happen?
We got you. We were just confirming that we have the mics up and running on our skips, so you'll be able to occasionally hear the two skips out there, Jordan Hudson and Todd Moyer. Todd was just making sure that everything was a go. That's because he's one of the coordinators.
It's his job to make sure things are going.
He's also curling. He's also one of the sponsors of the curling club itself with his Remax company, and we'll go through the sponsors later. But holy cow, he's everywhere today.
He's a one-man bonspiel.
And you are 40?
I'm 40.
Huh,
Can you believe it?
I'm 46.
I would not believe that either.
It's crazy talk.
It's just nuts.
We don't understand how this happened.
Time is stupid. Who invented that?
I don't know. But that's okay because we're older and wiser. We can bring to you some fantastic, riveting coverage
That is true.
of this pool play at the Potomac Curling Club at the Embassy Row Bonspiel. The pool play that's going on here, we have 4 pools of 4 teams each. They will play a round robin within their pool. This is the first game of that for Pool C. Then the winner of each pool will go on to the A event semifinals.
Yes.
The second place team will go to the B event semis, third C, fourth D, and then we get into kind of your more traditional event final structure from there.
Right.
But this does lend itself to permitting all the teams to know when all of their first 4 games are.
Exactly.
So they're really able to plan ahead. So our teams are ready to go. Hopefully we've got everything loaded up correctly. I was told we did, and I'm going to believe them. Oh yeah, look, we do. Like Sweep to the Slaughter. The name's cut off. It's so long. It's just like Sweep 2.
Like
Sweep 2.
Like Sweep to the other side.
Like Sweep to the other side. That is going to be red, and they have the hammer. So getting into the hack first is going to be Jessica for the yellow team here from the Diamond State Curling Club. I think that's New York Club. Is that right, Nick?
I have no idea. I've
Yeah,
never
me either.
heard of
I'm
them.
totally making that up. But we're very glad they're here.
I have no idea what state the Diamond State is.
We're so excited they're here because curling is an awesome sport, and anytime you can travel somewhere else for a bonspiel, I think it's one of the best parts of the sport.
I agree. Traveling for a bonspiel is one of the most fun things you can do. And I like league. I'm here 3 nights a week because I am crazy. But getting out and spending a weekend throwing rocks and socializing, which often equates to drinking, is really kind of the essence of the sport.
Absolutely. Now, if you are in the neighborhood of the Potomac Curling Club here in Laurel, Maryland, I would advise you to come over. The food is amazing. It's Cuban themed, and I have gone back for seconds on lunch. It's an amazing black bean soup with all kinds of stuff to throw in it, and oh my gosh.
It's incredible.
It really is.
It really, if you can get here in the next hour or so, I recommend it. It's truly excellent soup.
Although dinner is going to be catered from the local Cuban restaurant, which is outstanding food.
Is that tonight? I thought that was tomorrow.
Oh, I thought it was tonight. I don't know.
Do you know
Anyway,
what? The food's
food
going
will
to be great regardless.
Now, you can see where our focus is, and we just ate lunch, and that tells you how good it is. But we're also going to go back to focusing on the game here.
Yes, real nice corner guard. Yeah, it's a real nice corner guard from TJ.
TJ Kasser was our operator on the cameras in the first draw that we web streamed a little bit earlier today. Unfortunately, I don't have an operator handy, so we've just put you in the global view where you get to see both ends of the ice. This is the same sheet of ice. You're getting to see on the left side of your screen, it's the away house that we're playing towards at the moment. And then on the right side of your screen is the delivering house, or the home side at the moment. So you'll be able to watch the action from both sides of the sheet, and we're just going to chat away and have a good old time like we do.
Sometimes about the game, maybe not always.
Probably not always, but sometimes about the game.
Looks like that rock just slipped past the back of the ring.
You'll notice it's still in play. I'm hoping that we have some newer listeners to curling. because it is an Olympic year and there's a bit of a buzz, and we have lots of cool people in the area who might be interested. So that rock will stay in play until it fully crosses the back line, which means right now it is a trip hazard.
Right.
Please be careful out there, guys.
There to break ankles.
Oh, let's not. All right, so that red rock is sliding in, very consistently sliding into play. It's kind of where the other red guard is. Now that corner is well guarded.
Very well guarded.
It is.
Not a whole lot behind it, but it is very well covered. I think they probably were trying to draw behind their original guard, and it just didn't quite get there.
I do like the very clear call by the skip Jordan. She said she wants a biter. She's being specific. And you know, it's easier to go if you know what you're aiming for. The sweepers are on this right away. Now, they're in from out of town. This is their first game on our ice. And so they probably don't have a feel for the speed of the ice or how much it curls.
Yeah, and it looks like, I think she released that one with the wrong handle. It looks like it was curling the wrong way out of her hand.
Yeah, I agree with that. That may have happened. But it's early yet.
It's early yet. It's not... curling is one of those things that it looks like it's not that difficult when you see it on TV, and then you come out and you try it, and you're like, my goodness, this is the most difficult thing I've ever done. And then 20 minutes later, you're like, oh, it's not that difficult again. So you can pick up curling pretty quickly.
Absolutely, and I recommend that you do. It's
Absolutely.
a great game. Of course, you know, we might be a little biased here.
Maybe a little bit.
All right, so here in...
Apparently the Diamond State is Delaware.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you looked that up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well done. Next, you're going to tell me what that stands for.
That means Hot Rocks.
See, I don't... Yeah. So their team name, Hot Rocks. I love that. Good creative names out here.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the second for Diamond State. This is Sharon, and she's delivering her second rock. This one's got a lot more speed.
Good weight on their lead, much better weight on this one, and it's got the right handle on it.
A little more weight than they want, even.
Maybe.
So it might, we'll see. I think it's going to go through, but it was
Yeah,
a good adjustment. It's early yet.
Yep, they're not troubled to sweep that one.
I like to call those restful rocks.
Exactly.
If I'm a sweeper.
You get a little walk, a little exercise, but not too much.
For those that are just joining us and aren't familiar with curling, I am sorry. I'm going to do a little refresher for those that are familiar with curling. I'm sorry if I bore you a little bit, but we want to make sure this is an accessible experience for everybody. I'd like to just point out that we do have traditional 4-person teams. This is an open format, which means they can be any mix of genders. When you get to the Olympics, you're going to see men's and you're going to see women's, and never the twain shall meet. Except go ahead, Nick.
For the first time this year, we have mixed doubles at the Olympics, which is two-person teams, one man and one woman. And they only play 5 rock ends, and they've got rocks that start in play.
Yes, I'm in the mixed doubles league in the curling club this year.
Excellent.
It's really, we actually, it's an open league, but it's in the mixed doubles format.
Right.
I happen to be on a mixed doubles team.
Excellent.
And it's really intriguing. I've become a big fan.
It does change the game up considerably. There's not as much time setting up. You get right to the hard shots right away.
You do, and I think it's going to be a winner on TV. I think people will really enjoy it. I know I enjoy playing it, but it's very different.
And I think it's going to be only the second co-ed Olympic sport ever.
Other than equestrian?
Other than equestrian.
Huh, cool. I'll have to do some research and see if that's true, but I like that. It
if
sounds
not,
good.
it's great bar trivia made it up kind of a thing.
Absolutely. So Kevin Eller is the vice for this team from Delaware, and he's just delivered his first vice stones. There are 4 people on these traditional 4-person teams. That's amazing how that works. And the roles, assuming that they play quote-unquote in order, which they are on these 2 teams, is your lead will throw the first 2 rocks for your team. The second will throw the next 2. It's going to be a reach here, but the third will throw the next 2.
Wow.
They're also called the vice or the vice skip, but it's all the same person.
It's all the same person.
And then the skip is the strategic mind. They're the ones that we have mic'd down there at the end. They're holding the broom. They're calling the strategy. They're doing lots of yelling. They're dressed warmly. And they're going to come down and throw the last 2 rocks at the end, while their vice skip holds the broom, dresses somewhat warmer, and does a lot of yelling.
Yes.
If you're not actively throwing the rock or holding the broom and yelling, then you are sweeping. So there you go. You've got your 4 peoples on the team.
Your roles all sorted out. Although sometimes you yell while you're sweeping too.
Well, we do. And sometimes you yell when you've been the shooter. There's a lot of yelling.
That's true.
But it's all in the interest of communication.
Usually it's in the interest of communication. Sometimes the yelling is less polite.
Indeed. Okay, so this the sweepers are sweeping this one to good effect. It looks like.
It looks
this
like
is
the
looking
weight's
like
better on this one.
and remember that they're not used to this ice, and they're adjusting to the conditions they're not used to playing in. So they overswept that just a tiny bit, but that's a great rock.
That's a
it's
great
in the back
rock.
of the forefoot. It's behind cover. Good throw.
Yeah,
Nice shot, Kevin.
I think they had to sweep that to get it around the guards.
I couldn't
and that
see so much.
brought it a little deep, but it's a great place for that rock.
It really is.
Just a little behind the tee line, but it'll take a nice throw to get there.
And that's a good place for them, particularly since they don't have the hammer. It's
Right.
nice for them to have that rock in the back of the forefoot.
Right.
Lots of good things can happen without the last rock if
Exactly.
you got some stuff back
It's hard
there.
to take out, and it makes it that much more difficult for the team with hammer to score.
That's right. So John Hale is the vice here on the home team, like Sweep to the Slaughter. I love that name.
Isn't it great?
It is. And he's throwing a rock that they are sweeping now to get around and they did get it around the guard. Oh,
They got a top guard, and they
Oh, that's okay. They tapped it back. They moved things around.
they did.
Isn't ideal.
I don't think that you can. There may be a hole. You may be able to get to hit that yellow rock through the guards, but
don't
it's
think so. Here, look at the display here, because we don't have a great angle on the sheet. We're sort of off to the right of the sheet.
yeah.
As
you
you're
probably
looking
can't.
at the delivering the end, well, all of the things.
Yeah, they're far. That's the far end.
Right at the far end for us, which is the thing you're seeing on your left. We're sitting to the far right side of that, so we don't have the angle to really see.
Yeah.
But looking on the monitor, I think that
I
is a
think-
pretty unlikely shot.
I think that you're right.
I think you got to clear that top one or go around it and ignore it.
or you
So-
could run it back, I guess.
Yeah, so Jordan is coming down to throw her first rock of the end, and she has decided to go around everything and just draw in, which I think is a great choice. She's currently sitting shot. She may as well put another one in there behind cover.
That's
Sit
right.
two. Sometimes the best guard's another point.
Exactly. That's old curling saying.
Absolutely. I love her hat, by the way. She's really got the Havana style going on here.
Yes, it's very thematic.
It is. Well done.
Uh,
Maybe we should listen to her. Let's see. Which one of these is her? Oh, too late.
too late.
Well, we have her mic'd. I forgot to turn up her mic so you could hear her stop and talk to her sweepers, but I love the communication so far. We heard her very clearly earlier just to say specifically what she wanted, which was that biter for her second. Didn't work out, but she is giving clear communication,
Yeah.
which is, I think, 3/4 of the battle.
It's critical. If you don't know what you're doing, it's really hard to do it well.
I don't know. I do not knowing what I'm doing very well, but my curling suffers. All right. So
The rock is away. Their sweepers are on it. I don't know if this is for line or if it's for weight. I think the weight's probably pretty good. Yeah, the weight looks like it's just a bit up. I think the sweeping might have been. Sometimes people feel like they need to do something when they're on the ice, and
well, that's true. Also, I'm not sure if Diamond State maybe curls on arena ice. I'm going to have to look that up.
I think that seems likely. I don't.
Let's
When
look.
FNL and I started a million years ago,
When you had to walk uphill both ways through the snow to get to the ice rink.
and we had to bring our own rocks, which we then ate for lunch. There were about maybe 25, 30 clubs on the entire East Coast of the United States, and in the last 15 years, that's just exploded. There are oodles of clubs, and there are clubs in places that you wouldn't know. Like there's at least one. I think there are 2 in Florida. There's one in Atlanta. There's a bunch in North Carolina now.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. I'm
it's
wearing
wonderful.
a North
It's great.
Carolina shirt, in fact, because
Awesome.
we get around. Yeah, so this is a picture I've pulled up on my phone, the DiamondStateCurling.org website.
That is
and
definitely a hockey
It's
rink.
definitely a hockey rink. So they are not used to dedicated curling ice, and it is incredibly different.
Yeah.
So it may take them a few ends to get a handle of that. And they're going to, I hope, very much enjoy curling here. I know I do. Oh, that's a nice run
What a
back.
beautiful shot
Wow,
by-
what a run back takeout.
That was a great shot by Todd.
It was.
To run that rock back, pop
Pepper.
out the shot rock, and lead their
Sit
shooter.
behind cover. Woo.
Yeah, well covered.
That's a pretty shot.
Not a whole lot here for
Jordan.
to do.
Yeah.
I think, probably the draw is her best bet. I think drawing in on top of the rock that just got run, right where it was just indicated.
Yes.
I think would be the perfect place to go.
Absolutely. We should probably turn up our thing. We'll see if it actually makes a noise.
Let's see if it picks anything up.
I don't really hear her talking now.
Yeah. I don't hear either one of them talking. I wonder if...
Well, you know, we don't have an operator. We're swinging and wailing and flailing at these buttons and dials and bells and whistles and widgets. And let me tell you, there are a lot of bells, whistles, widgets, and dials.
There's a lot of switches and wires.
Flashing lights.
It's very exciting, actually.
It's actually a little intimidating for me, but we're doing our best to bring you some coverage here of curling. Now, I'm not sure how many viewers we have right now, in part because I think that the U.S. curling trials are being covered by the 12th End Sports Network starting now.
I can't believe that 12th End chose the U.S. Olympic trials over this, but...
Some people. But they're our good friends, and they do a fantastic job. So you should also tune into their coverage. I'm not saying tune away from us. Golly, no. Watch us, too.
Yes.
Put them up side by side.
You need 2 screens, or you can probably watch archived coverage.
Absolutely.
Of the trials and the this is the
watch
live. You want to see us live?
Way more fun.
Way more fun. We can be a little freer with our commentary.
True.
Not too free.
True, and we may even cover some of the curling.
Yeah.
So Jordan's rock's away, by the way. This is her last rock of the end. There are 8 rocks per team per end. And she's got the port, but I think her weight is again. Oh, that's going to actually work out
that's
pretty
actually
well. All right.
Really nice.
Go plan B.
Yeah. A
That's
really
okay.
nice plan B there to
I mean, I'm sure it's plan A.
Right. That's plan A plus.
Indeed. Well done. That's a good result, regardless. That they are second shot. So Todd is still going to be able to draw for 2. It's a wide open house. There's, you know.
And that's what you're aiming for when you have.
And we talked earlier about the hardest shot in curling is when you have to do the same exact shot you just did, but the second hardest curling shot is draw the wide open house for me.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm not that great. I'm only a social, casual curler, and I'm pretty abysmal at that open shot.
I curl 3 times a week, and I'm still pretty bad at that shot. So.
Yeah, so when you tune into this and into the Olympic coverage and the trials and everything, if you are not yourself a curler, you may not realize that it is not an easy sport.
Yeah.
But you should try it anyway because it's awesome.
It is simple to learn, and the mechanics of delivering a stone are not altogether intuitive, but once you've got it down, it's fairly easy. But you
Just
can
like
play
falling off a bike.
Exactly. Or staying on one.
So here's Todd's rock. The sweepers waited till the last minute to do anything to it. I think he pretty much had this taken care of all by himself. And they're just going to put it right at the top of the button.
Massage it to the lid. That's a real nice draw by Todd.
That is. Oh, gosh. Now I have to figure out how to change the score. That was red. They scored 2. Oops, that's the names.
Red score. Change that to a number.
Oh, I think it did it.
Holy crap.
Woo!
Woo!
High five.
High five.
Okay, so now we're starting the second end. This is scheduled for 8. 8 ends. Remember, an end is when you play them all one direction. There are 8 stones per team, so 16 rocks. After the rocks come to rest, you take a look and you see which color stone is closest to the very center of this target area that we call the house. The team that's closest to the center will score as many points as they have rocks closer than the opposition and at least touching the outermost rings. So your maximum possible score is 8 rocks per end, 8 points per end, and that is unlikely to happen.
It does not happen very often. The club here has been open for 15 years, and I believe we've seen 3.
I lost track, but not many.
Yeah, not many.
Maybe 4, but not a lot.
Yeah. Certainly fewer than 1 a year. In fact, they're so uncommon that they usually make not the newspaper, but they'll make the curling press in the country.
Absolutely. That was a beautiful centerline guard just thrown there by TJ.
That is a great guard. That is just about as good a guard as you could possibly get.
Absolutely. Now, what were we talking about? Gosh, I'm so distracted by my soup.
Some curling something.
Some curling something, right. Oh, right, about the rocks. The 8-enders, right. So 2 of the 8-enders that have been scored at this club were actually my team.
Oh, that's right.
When I was out.
That's right.
In both cases, I was out. They had a sub. And my team, without me, scored 8 points in an end.
Did Lisa Andrews, was she your spare both times, or was it Doug that was the spare?
It was always an Andrew.
It was always an Andrew, okay,
It
yeah.
was one of the Andrew. I think it was a daughter once.
Okay.
I think it was Doug once.
So there's alchemy here. Like when you have
Right.
one Andrew and an FL.
Missing.
That's how you get an 8-ender.
Exactly. So it's happened twice of the few that have happened here. But if I'd been here, it would have been a different game, and it wouldn't have been that.
Right.
So I'm glad that they got it, and I think it's hilarious that I have to not be here to make it happen.
Yeah. And I've been curling for 15 years, and I've never seen one actually happen. I've seen them come close. I've seen a couple of 7s, but I've never seen an 8.
I've given up a 7.
I'd say congratulations, but that's not
Not
really the
ideal.
right thing to
Not
say.
ideal. Mistakes were made. All right, another beautiful centerline guard. Jordan is wasting no time with her call, clearly communicating she'd love to draw into the house.
Oh.
Behind that guard, may as well make use of it.
Yeah, and I think that on the previous shot, Jessica had good weight, just over curled a bit.
Absolutely. And it is a trick to adjust, even if you're used to curling on dedicated curling ice from club to club and day to day and ice conditions, weather conditions. The situation changes, but when you're coming from an arena club situation to dedicated curling ice, it is a wildly different game, and they're doing a fantastic job adjusting to this weight.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
That
right
was
on
a
the
great
tee
shot.
line. That is beautiful weight. Not behind the guard like they wanted, but still perfect weight.
Yeah. And that, again, here it is only the second end, and they're already throwing T-line weight.
Yep.
That's impressive. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done.
All right, so this is that Chip down
Chip,
there?
that is Chip.
Yeah, I should put on glasses, but, you know, I'm old. I actually have them. I just never wear them. I got them for curling glasses.
Oh, so
thinking
you
it
could
would help
see
me hit the broom, but I realized I'm not going to hit the broom anyway, so
So-
now I have an excuse. So I never wear them. So Chip just split the uprights there. He missed the guard, and he missed the shot rock, and
That is a hole that I did not expect to be there.
nope, neither. I don't think they did either, because nothing was swept or called or anything.
Yep.
It was
Neatly threaded.
Swing and a miss. Happens.
I'm not sure what the call here is.
I think they might be drawing around, trying to split the house a little or come behind the guard.
I think come behind the guard would make sense.
It looks a little tight for me, but again, she's got some weight. Maybe they're doing a tap up.
It looks like she
Ugh.
I think she gave
Yeah.
it a bit of a shove when she released the rock,
Yeah,
and it
so-
got a bit away from her.
Yep. Our rocks, anytime you play on curling, anytime your rock touches the sideline, or if there happens to be a bumper, if you're on one of the edge sheets, or at a place with a carpeted break point between
Right.
sheets, which we don't have
Or
here.
foam sometimes.
Right. As soon as you touch that sideline, visual or physical, your rock is considered out of play. So they immediately kicked it to stop it from going into the next sheet.
Right.
And speaking of the next sheet over, on sheet A, there's actually a team here from Charlotte. I think?
Charlottesville.
Charlottesville, thank you. And they're also coming from Arena Ice, and they're very excited to get to play on dedicated curling ice, and also terrified. Or so they told me before the game. I think they'll do great.
Yeah, they say terrified, but they're sitting shot right now. They look like they've got a.
Yeah, good on them. So you can't see that, I'm sorry, and I have no way to fix that. Sorry. But trust me, awesome games everywhere. We have 4 sheets of ice here at the Potomac Curling Club,
got-
sheets A, B, C, and D.
We've
We
got-
are featuring sheet B as in boy, but we do have action on all 4 sheets, and you
Exactly.
should come out and watch if you're local. And if not, trust me, it's awesome.
It is fantastic. It's just a fun sport to watch and be around while it's happening.
And the noises are cool, too. I'm going to turn up the ambient just for a few minutes so you can hear. You hear that kind of roaring and the noise in the background. They call this the roaring game because of that noise. As the rocks travel down the ice, they make that kind of low rumble. And it's just a really evocative sound between that and the clicking of the granite as it hits each other. And, of course, yelling and the sweeping sounds and
Yeah.
swish, swish, swish sounds.
It's a very satisfying sport orally.
It is.
Orally.
Orally, yes. And orally, if
And-
you get to the beer or whatever you're drinking. And the soup.
And the soup. Yeah, no, as I was saying earlier, bonspieling is one of the true joys of curling because of the beer and the soup and the game.
And the people.
And the people. The people who do this are just wonderful people.
I really like the sport because of its camaraderie and the sportsmanship that we generally display. It's just a really supportive environment.
I think they were trying to come around here, maybe a little bit light and a little bit narrow, or maybe just a little bit light. So they tapped it on to the rings. Not a bad result, but not maybe what they were looking for exactly.
Well, we're on sheet B. It's okay. There's some plan B.
Ha! I apologize for shouting in the ears of everyone I just shouted into. But I have to acknowledge a good joke when I hear it.
Thank you. This slim pickings around here, so I'll take what we can get. No, Nick is the funny one. I'm just, I'm thankful that he's agreed to put on a headset. He wasn't actually scheduled here. He's impromptu volunteering.
I enjoy this. This is fun. I mean, I like watching and talking about curling anyway. I'd be doing the same thing at home. So
Right. May as well be here. Oh, this is lovely. This, ooh, just snuck a little.
got a little biter there.
Yeah,
They're right in front of the rock. I think they were trying to come behind, but that's not a bad result because you can do a lot of things with that rock. You can tap that up.
Yep.
You can use that as a run rock to pick out the red.
Absolutely. If you're Team Moyer, this is a dangerous rock.
Yep.
Todd Moyer, of course, the co-coordinator of the Bonspiel. He's everywhere, including in the house right now.
One man show here, except there are no one man shows in curling. It's all a team sport.
It is. That's one of its charms. You may occasionally hear some random noise in the background. We do have kind of a full house now. I'd say there's probably 40 or so people here.
I'd say about that.
Inside the warm room, plus the 32 people out on the ice. Did I do that math right?
6.
Yes.
8 times 4. Yeah. I haven't had a math class since the 90s.
Math is hard. But yes, there's probably like 70 people at the curling club right now. There, 40 inside and 30 outside. Dawn Finley is working the bar.
The most important position.
Absolutely. I have to acknowledge the bartenders. I'm going to do that after this webcast. I'm planning to go work the bar next.
Excellent.
Again, if you're in the area, come on by, have some delicious food, visit me at the bar, watch some curling. Come on, it's a great day.
John, I'm not sure what they were trying to do, but I think he overthrew it a little bit, ended up taking one of his own rocks out. This gives Diamond State a chance to get in behind cover.
Right.
It looks like...
I like Kevin's slide. That was good.
Yeah. It looked to me like he wasn't getting quite out to the broom, but I have a bad angle on it.
It's looking okay. I think that it's going to swing at the end. They might
think about sweeping
clear.
that.
They're clear. They're good. It's maybe a little sit. Oh, it's a beautiful rock.
It's a beautiful rock.
Sit down. It's just a tiny bit heavy, maybe. And, of course, you can do defensive sweeping. So John Hale leaps into action, but he is not able to clear it back far enough.
It is shot.
It is.
It looks like yellow is actually 1 and 2.
I agree. Go Diamond State. Go Diamond State. That's awesome.
That's great. Putting a little bit of pressure on Todd here. He's going to try to follow them down, maybe leave it a little bit shorter.
Right, but he does have backing, so the pro side is down to them.
Right.
Although, ideally, he's going to draw clean to the top 4 behind cover.
Yeah, if he misses the shot one way, he's going to want to miss it by being a little heavy, throwing a little too much, we call it weight, putting a little too much speed on the rock.
Okay, so Todd's sliding out, letting it go. His chip is waving his hand. I don't know what that means, maybe heavy?
I think it looked like Chipso was saying it was heavy. We said that was the way to miss, but if it's too heavy, he might
have to be careful they don't slide between the 2 rocks here in the back.
Yeah,
okay, it's good.
Heavy.
It's good. It's coming. It's going to just
it's going to push
check out
the
that
rock. Yeah.
shot rock. That's fine. As we said, pro side to miss was a little heavy, and that's just what he did. That's
exactly.
Fine.
Yeah, better.
Now Jordan
there.
can do the same thing though.
She can, and if she does
better.
It will. Yeah, I think that she may actually want to come all the way down to it and move that back because.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She wants to do the same thing he just
exact
did,
same
not
thing,
what he called, but the actual shot that occurred.
Yeah. If she does that, then she's sitting 1 and 2 again, rather than just then the one.
Right, and I'm actually thinking you can cross the face and flop a little behind cover, be shot, and be kind of behind that red center guard.
Yeah, absolutely. You throw a little gentle weight, maybe like a hack to bumper.
I was
sort
thinking
of a weight.
hack. Yeah.
You can get a little bit of over curl and flop underneath the.
Yeah, I think that's what I would go for if it were me, all things being equal. But, first you got to make the shot, and then you get the finesse.
Exactly.
So we'll see how she does here.
Right.
This is Jordan's first rock of the end. She does have hammer.
which means she will also get the last rock at the end.
Right, hammer being last rock. Yes, correct. We are full of crazy terms.
We have, yeah.
I always forget.
Yeah, sports this, well, who was I talking to recently? I was like, oh yeah, I went to this bonspiel, and they're like, what is that word you just said?
So
It's a
this rock
bonspiel.
needs to curl a little bit. It looks like it's hanging a little straighter than they had in mind. They might take themselves out.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to end up right on the nose of their own rock.
I don't think that's going to wind up shot, though. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
So their second shot.
I think the weight was actually pretty good. I think
It
she might
was.
have just missed the broom a little bit.
Yeah, or maybe they took a little more ice
Or-
than they needed. Or
yeah.
both.
Looks like Todd's going to try to take that out, which would leave Jordan with a
draw versus
draw. If
5.
a draw against 5.
Yeah, but with lots of backing.
But there's lots of backing, and there's a lot of the house to draw to.
Right, and actually, if she did the same exact result she just did, she would wind up shot, assuming this plays out
Assuming-
the way we're anticipating, which we'll see. Because
Exactly.
first, Todd's got to make the shot.
Exactly.
So here he comes
Can't
now.
get ahead of ourselves.
That's right. Well, we do like to see, he looked a little wide to me.
Yeah, and Chip again was saying he was a little up. This may be a little more.
Oh, here it comes, though. I think he's a little wide, but as
it's
long as he
coming.
hits the yellow,
Yeah,
doesn't
and
matter if he rolls out. As
I
long as
think
he
he's
takes
going
it
to
out.
lose the shooter,
Yeah,
but
me too, but that's fine.
that's fine.
Okay, so
So it does give Jordan. It's actually probably better
I was
that he
going to say
loses
the same
shooter.
thing. Yeah, it gives her less of backing.
Mhm.
So now she has to be a little bit more precise in her draw. A draw is a rock that comes into the house and stops, preferably of its own volition, but we'll take a draw with backing in this case if necessary.
As long as it isn't kicked, we don't really care.
Right. Right. If you do, by the way, kick or hit a rock with your equipment, or in my case, my long braids, I have to be careful. I'm actually so long a
yeah.
braid now that when I'm sweeping, I have to be a little careful not to burn the rock. But if you touch the rock with your equipment or your body, then that rock is got all kinds of things that could happen to it. But the gist of it is it's a rock in violation of the rules
Yeah.
at that point, and it will not work to your advantage.
Yeah, we call it burning the rock, and depending on where it happens, various things happen. And
We're not
we
going to
won't-
go into that right
yeah.
now. If it
That's-
comes up, which I hope it will not,
Right.
we can discuss the specifics of that moment.
That is advanced level curling.
It is. I also love looking around curling rinks and seeing all the various shirts people are wearing. There's all kinds of curling regalia out here.
They have apparently Sweep to the Slaughter has a theme shirt, which
They
is pretty
do.
hilarious. Jordan's rock is away. The line looks pretty good.
It
The sweepers
does.
are on it.
They are sweeping. And
I think that they can probably come off this
I
unless
think
the
it's okay.
yeah, I think they need to come off a little bit.
I mean, they do have. It's going to curl for that backing. I think
Oh.
they're still working on arena ice speeds.
Yeah, I think that they just thought they needed to sweep that more than they did.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is pretty unfortunate. A steal of 4 for the Moyer team. Not his real estate team, but his curling team.
That is true. Speaking of which, hey, while we're in this break, let's go through some of our sponsors. We do have sponsors of the Potomac Curling Club, and we very much appreciate them. They get a big old logo in our ice, which I don't think we're out of view. You can see it, but it is just in front of the hog line on the home end and positioned so that all of us in the worm room can admire their logos.
The best way to see them is to come out and try curling.
Absolutely, and there's an opportunity to do that on the 18th. Did you know that, Nick?
I did not. What an incredible segue that was.
I know, right? Well, if you go to our website, which is www.curldc.org, you'll be able to see that information about that try curling opportunity. It's very reasonably priced, both for individuals or families, and you'll get about an hour lesson in what's going on more specifically and get to try it your very own self. Of course, that's the lesson itself. Yay, go curl. And then you'll be really well prepared for the Olympics and for your future as a curler.
And for your future as a curler. Which
Hopefully at the Potomac Curling Club, but you know, it's a transient area, and you
It
can
is.
take your knowledge with you somewhere else. There's curling clubs popping up everywhere. We talked about that.
we talked about, yeah.
But-
No, we've got alumni everywhere.
We do. And some of them are back for this bonspiel. I saw.
It's true that one of the players on sheet A, one of the Charlottesville players, is a former player at this club.
It's so nice to see her back. So some of the sponsors, I'm going to just do a couple now, and we'll come back. We have 6 sponsors in the ice, I think it is. Is it 6? Yes. I'm going to start with Visionist Inc., and they have provided the U.S. intelligence community with custom software solutions and analytics services for over 7 years.
Over 7 years. That's Not quite as long as I've been curling, but still, that's more. That's
It's about half as long as I've been curling, but it's still a significant amount of time.
It's true.
As my gray hairs would tell you.
It's true, and it's longer than I've provided analysis services to anyone. So they're doing a better job of that than I ever will. As you can all hear, by the way, I'm talking. I'm going to mute my mic now. Hold on.
Okay. I'd also like to mention Buffalo Wild Wings. Although I am eating delicious Cuban soup right now, Buffalo Wild Wings is also tasty, tasty, tasty. And I'm thinking maybe late tonight I might have wings for dinner. So Buffalo Wild Wings, thank you. Wings, beer, sports.
Wings, beer, and sports.
Love, 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 love. What's not to love there? So thank you very much for your sponsorship. Your logo is in our ice. It is beautiful. And makes me hungry. This is a beautiful draw, right around that guard.
It's very nice.
Into the top of the house. Ooh, just a little bit deeper than I thought it was. Actually, it's to the back of the house, the back four, but it's still a beautiful draw. They swept hard to get it around that guard. And when you sweep, two things happen, one of which is the rock goes further than it would have if you didn't sweep.
Right.
So by sweeping so hard to hold that rock out, it dragged it just a little bit farther than they intended, and it went to the back four, but still line over the depth in this case. Okay. The lead for our team from Delaware. Jessica has slid out with her second rock. She's got a lot of speed on this, and I think because of the speed, it's just not going to curl as much as she would hope. So that's going to slide on through. Yep.
Okay, sorry. I muted my mic and then forgot I'd unmuted it. Yes,
That's dangerous.
Yeah, just a pretty decent hit weight, just not what they were asking for.
Exactly. Chip is in the hack now for our home team. Chip Churlo has a podcast, Chip Talk.
Chip Chat.
Chip Chat. Yeah, I'm a terrible person. Sorry, Chip. But Chip Chat, it gets great reviews and is highly recommended. You should go listen. He's not a sponsor, though, so don't, first you should go to Visionist Inc. and take a look and see if they can support your services.
Maybe over some wings and beer.
Right.
At your local Buffalo Wild Wings.
Exactly.
Or even our local Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yum. And this is going to come up just nice. It's, it's a high guard, but that's what they need right now. They're trying to continue to put the pressure on Diamond State and just make it harder for them to claw their way back into this. But it's early yet, and anything can happen.
Anything can happen. The score is a bit lopsided now, but Diamond State has been just one or two rocks away. A couple of good shots by Todd, and
yeah, that run back takeout was just brutal in the first end.
Brutal, and they would be right back in this game. So it's not over by any means.
Nope, not at all. And Sharon has delivered her stone again. She's adjusting so well to the ice conditions. I think this is going to work out pretty good. Oh, yeah, just around the guard.
Oh,
that's so pretty. Oh, that's so
pretty.
And
it's going to slide right up in front of.
Oh, that is a thing of beauty. What a great shot.
What a great shot that is.
Nicely done.
Beautifully done.
Good shot. If I had a bell, I'd ring it. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding, ding. There used to be cowbells, or there are cowbells.
There are some cowbells. There's just not. Oh, there is one within reach. I probably shouldn't grab it right now, though, because I'm going to knock things over, and there's so many bells and wires and things.
Don't want to unplug anything on.
There's a lot of technology. I should take a picture and put this on the Facebook page.
High-tech curling.
Seriously, and you'll get to see my soup.
Yeah, the fundamentals of curling are something like 450 or 500 years old, but technology touches everything, and it's a very different sport than it was even 20 years ago. Including, of course, the webcasting. This is a whole new thing.
It really is. It's a thing. I'm gonna post a picture. You can just see Nick's right shoulder.
My shoulder. Woo.
And my soup, and some of our setup here, because it's pretty impressive.
Best seats in the house.
Absolutely. Let me share this out here. See if I can figure out how to do that. I'm technologically not inept, but not adept either.
Just ept. Just generally
I'm
ept.
I've got to No, not that group, not that group, not that group.
Here's the second shot here from Sharon. Looks to have a little less weight, a little more curl on it. Sweeper's working hard on it to get it over the hog line. He needs to cross that line fully to be in play. Looks like they've got it over, but it is a guard over on the left there. Not guarding anything right now, but potentially usable later. When you've got the hammer, you don't mind having guards over on the edges.
That's true. That's very true. Nothing wrong with corner guards.
John Hale throwing the first vice stone for the sweep to the slaughter. Not sure if he was trying to. I think what he was trying to do was not this. I'm not sure if he was trying to draw into the pile or if he was trying to pick that a little more cleanly. But he does end up driving the guard rock through the house and rolling away, uncovering the shot rock. So the Diamond State team here, Hot Rocks, trying to put that guard back, just to provide themselves a little cover, a little defense against takeouts.
All right, I sort of ineptly posted a thing, just tagging the Potomac Curling Club. I have to fix that later. I swear I like have access to post on the Curling Club website, but I replaced my phone and haven't like figured out how to get. Let's go back to curling. That's way more fun. So this is John Hale's getting into the hack.
Yeah, this is the third for Delaware. Diamond State delivers a beautiful guard.
Fantastic.
That's just wonderful. Covers up the approach to that rock. They could maybe see a corner of it, but they can't come at it with a whole lot of weight. And even if they do, they've got that little red rock back there to act as a catcher if they need it.
They do. It's a really nice setup. That's, at the moment, not going to get a whole lot of points, but any points is better than no points right now.
Better than no points.
Gotta start somewhere here. And this is going to be a little tight, I think. They're sweeping real hard to hold it out.
Are they just clip the guard?
Just wick the guard. So that guard did its job.
It did its job.
I suspect the call will be, hey, let's put that back. That was awesome.
Exactly.
Yep, let's put it back, says Jordan.
Calling for the most difficult shot in curling, the one you just threw.
I have confidence. Okay, so here comes this second vice rock.
Stone is away. Weight looks pretty good. Sweeper's not, well, now they're on it.
I think that might have been a call from Jordan more than a weight need.
The line, you know, it looks like it's floating the wrong way a little bit. It's curling the right way. It looks like it was just falling the whole way. I wonder if that was something in his delivery.
Maybe. Well,
Took
it's coming back
hard
nice. I would
turn.
finish it hard, maybe.
My goodness.
I think I probably would have swept just the last couple feet of that.
Yeah, I think so too.
But that's all right. Hey, it's
it's covering part of the shot rock.
It is.
They do have a path. Moyer has a path to it, but it's not
tight.
Yeah, it's not easy to get to. Yeah, it's actually even. Sorry, from. In real life, it looks really big. On the screen, it looks really tiny. That's a pretty good.
But they seem to be talking about going through it, though. I mean, John Hale has the broom in a spot that implies they're just gonna get it. And what happens if you miss? You just clear the guard out of the way.
Clear the guard, yeah.
It's okay. Nothing wrong with this call. I like it. I mean, all good things.
I think I might just peel the guard.
Yeah. I think this is essentially what you're going to wind up with.
Yeah.
Because you're unlikely to get through that port. And if you do, you'll look like you meant it.
That's fair.
I mean, he would mean it if that's the call.
Yeah,
but
no,
he might
of
be calling for the peel. It's really hard to tell with this broom.
Calling a shot that has good things that happen if it doesn't do what you want it to is a skill in this sport.
It really is. You always need to have an awareness of what the pro side misses and how can I make this. And I think you are going to get that pro side miss of the peel, unless that was the call.
It looks like they've actually got past the guard.
And by that, I mean they meant to do that.
What a beautiful shot.
That was a great shot. They really did mean to do that. And that was an awesome shot.
It was a great shot.
Well executed.
Did lose the shooter, but I think that they're
That's okay.
more than happy with that.
Absolutely. Great shot. Good job, Todd. Speaking of Todd, he's one of our sponsors of the Potomac Curling Club.
He is.
He is. He is part of the Moyer team at Remax 100. Todd Moyer can be reached at todd@themoyerteam.com. Moyer is spelled Moyer, and he is never too busy for your referrals. And he is everywhere. He is doing everything.
Despite the fact that he's coordinating and playing and running around and announcing things, he could probably take one right now. If you've got a house to sell, give him a call right now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Todd. We appreciate your sponsorship, and we appreciate your hard work this weekend.
Absolutely.
Making this Bonspiel a success. I'm sure it will be. We've just gotten started.
Oh,
it's a happening place, though.
It's happening
We
place.
got people playing crokinole in the back here. Take a look.
Well, you know it's a good Bonspiel if we've got crokinole. And we've got beer and good food, so.
We do. And, yeah, some good stuff here. Beer's on tap. Do they have cider on tap? You know?
No, they don't have cider on tap.
But they do have it in the case.
the bottles, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not cider, it's cidre.
Sorry for the people whose ears I just blew off. This is a we crack each other up kind of team here. That's good.
You can tell we've known each other for a while.
We have. Oh, my gosh. So crazy. Jordan is getting to the hack here for her first shot. She does have hammer.
I think, based on that broom, I think she's trying to draw through the port.
I agree.
And maybe use that red rock as backing if necessary.
I love this plan. I think that's a great idea. There's lots of good that can come.
Yeah, I agree. And
if she's a little bit wide, she might even tap up her own.
Right,
That's okay
exactly.
too.
There's a lot of things that can be done with that.
And this does look a little wide, and maybe a little bit zippy. So let's see what happens with
yeah,
it.
I think heavy is the biggest problem here. I think that probably it's going to sail on through. The line was really good.
It was.
And that would have been, if it had had the right weight, probably would have stopped really nicely guarded behind that yellow rock. I think Jordan may be still used to arena ice, where you generally have to push a little bit harder to get the rock to go the full distance.
And full marks for curling on arena ice. I have done some guest appearances, but it was for on arena ice that had been groomed for a Bonspiel. And so, although it was not dedicated curling ice, it was not what many club members elsewhere in the country and different clubs play on as their regular availability. And whew, great googly moogly, it's a different game, I suspect.
Yeah, I'm sure. The only time I've ever played on arena ice has been at a Bonspiel where they've had time to convert the hockey ice to arena ice. I've never
like
played on
Pittsburgh and that sort of
yeah,
thing.
I've never played on true arena ice in the sense that
again, they've had time to massage it, groom it, adjust it.
But if you've got a 2-hour rental slot and you've got to get rocks on the ice, hacks in, rings down, and
play
throw,
a game,
you don't have any time to be doing the things that you need to do to make curling ice. And so it's a very different game.
That's true. You still, the scoring is the same and the techniques are similar, but that's about
it.
Yep. I mean, but on the other hand,
Todd indicating to us in the commentary booth that he was a little bit disappointed with how hard that rock, how hard he threw it, a little too deep.
But good signs out there. Very good communication.
Very good communication.
Another of our sponsors also represented on this sheet is Red Hot and Blue. They are a barbecue place. They are in Laurel on Main Street, and their Brunswick stew is amazing. That's what I prefer to get when I go there. It's so, so tasty. And we appreciate their sponsorship, and I appreciate their food. Yum.
Yeah, it's great barbecue.
It is. Jordan has the hammer.
It looks like the same shot here. I think she'll just try to bring down the weight a little bit.
Right. She's just seen this line. She's just had a chance to throw a rock down it. So let's see if she can adjust her weight a little bit.
Yep. It's a nice clean release.
It is. And her sweepers are on it. They're sweeping for line.
I think maybe they're trying to promote that rock. I think that may be what they're trying to do because there's no reason to sweep that otherwise.
Yeah, I agree. So
just a little too heavy again.
Yeah.
Bit unfortunate. Another 2 points for Todd.
Yep.
But again, Diamond State showing signs of life. It's not a blowout. Well, it is a blowout, but only because of the points, right? Not because of the talent being shown.
Absolutely. To finish out our discussion of our sponsors, we also have
Car Astronautics.
Science at Work.
Science at work. They do science at work, so I don't have to.
We appreciate them very much. And also, to finish the sweep here, we have Barantes Tour and Travel. Laura Barantes is one of our club members. And
Always has a smile on her face.
she's so well-traveled and so positive and so delightful and smart and funny. And
Yeah, just great.
she's awesome. She her logo is her motto is doing the most on both coasts, but I would say on every continent at this point, probably or nearly. That girl is
Absolutely.
well traveled.
Absolutely.
And her Twitter, it can be is at Barantes T&T, spelled out BARRANTEST and Andy T. So here we are coming home in, by coming home I mean coming towards us so we can actually see the action a little better here in the
Exactly.
booth. Coming towards the war room end.
Another great guard from TJ. He's been.
He told us to make fun of him, but I don't think I can.
I know. The only way I'd make fun of him is if they wanted that rock in the house.
Right. At which point he'd blame his sweepers.
It's a beautiful guard. This
It
is
was.
a real nice
Oh.
come around, actually.
Their lead has really
Oh.
come on strong. Oh, that hooked hard at the end. I wonder if it picked. It was
Yeah,
looking fantastic.
It looked like it turned really hard at the end.
Really
I
did.
thought it was around.
Yeah,
but
me too. And then it didn't.
not a
didn't go
bad
around.
place for that to end up. Having rocks in front of the house like that can be very strategically advantageous. There's a lot of things you can do with a rock in front of the house that you can't do with a rock behind it.
That's besides trip over. Yes, that's true. Hollering for line, trying to hold this out so they don't tap up the yellow rock. They've over
Yeah,
curled.
they've definitely overcurled. It looks like they may actually even overcurl the yellow rock.
Well, that would be a good plan C at this point. All right, TJ, we're going to make fun of you now. You overcurled that rock, man. No,
Well-
you've been rock solid.
I mean, that's.
I kill me. Nick may kill me too.
I would never.
Not on the air.
Not, well, I would never leave evidence.
No, very good. He's a smart man.
Great weight on that rock, just over curled. I wonder if that picked something too, because that looked like it curled
Well,
6 feet in the last
absolutely.
20.
Now, I will say that on our ice, traditionally, as you get a little later in the game, the ice does start to swing more.
It does pick up a little bit
So
of
we
curl,
are
but-
in the fourth end. It might just be that point. Oh, this is going to be a pretty
This
little
is
tap
a
up. If it's
beautiful tap up.
oh, what an outstanding shot!
That
Gold
that
star.
could not have been
Fantastic.
done much better, and that's why it's good to have those rocks in front of the house like that, because
Good
you can
things
do
happen.
things like
That was great. You could have curled around it, we tapped it up, and they tapped it up. Todd is going to clear it. He's just going to hit that rock that is the rock that just was the shot rock, the shooting.
The shooter, yeah.
Yes, the one they threw. The one that is now guard. He's not going to mess around anymore. He's just going to run move it.
Yeah.
Make it go away, he says. And Chip is going to try to deliver. They've got their sweepers
They're
sweeping
sweeping on it.
frantically.
Yeah, Todd wants this rock to clear off to the side.
Right, and not nose. So he's going to get his call.
He will. He probably
shot.
wanted a little more roll out of the shooter.
Yeah,
But
he seems, okay with that.
right, but that did the primary job, which was to clear off the
Clear
car.
off. Exactly.
Clear off.
Yeah.
Go away.
Well done.
And so now
Good throw, Chip.
Diamond State's trying to set the guard again. Looks like we're looking for a step-on
stabilizer.
slider.
Oh, a slider. Okay.
We do have some specialized equipment.
We do. That's true. We haven't talked equipment yet.
That's true. Those of us who play regularly have our own shoes and broom and clothes and gloves and stopwatches and things. But for those of you who will hopefully be joining us on the 18th, is it?
Yes, the 18th.
We have equipment that will fit over your street shoes and that will allow you to try it out.
But please have clean shoes.
Clean shoes.
Not like street shoes, like with the dirt on the shoes, but bring a clean pair of sneakers to change into.
Exactly.
But we have step-on sliders for you to use, and we have grippers to go over your shoes to help you grip the ice a little better. Except for when you're sliding to deliver the stone. That's when you get to play like you're Bambi on ice. That's so much fun to see. Remember the days when we started? Did they duct tape our shoes?
They did duct tape our shoes. I had a pair of shoes where the left sole was duct taped because that was my curling pair of shoes.
Absolutely, me too. Back in the day.
Back
now
in the
we
day.
have many more nicer equipment to offer.
And now I spend $300 whenever I want to buy a new pair of curling shoes rather than 10 cents worth of duct tape. It looks like the guard here, a good distance on it, but didn't quite cover the hole. It looks like there's just enough space to get between the, well, that hole's pretty tight, but it's
I think it's there. Well, let's find out. They're going to try it.
They're going to try it.
All right, Chip is sliding out. John and TJ are in position to sweep if necessary, but I think it doesn't need it. It
looks
needs
like
to
it's
curl.
hanging a bit. Todd said whoa right out of his hand.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's just going to hang a little bit.
No real terrible outcome here.
Yeah, and
it's another rock into the house, actually.
It puts another rock in the house, which isn't the end of the world.
Yeah. It's okay. Not quite what they were going for, but not the worst result.
Right.
Now Jordan has to figure out what to do with this situation. She's
looks like
shot.
she's asking for another guard.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I think so too.
Protect what you got and then go from there. I'm not sure I'd come this direction. I think I'd go the other way.
Yeah, I think I would too.
She will too.
She figured it out. There we go.
Good reposition of the hack. Yep. I love to see that. Cher did a good job kind of repositioning her hips to realign with the new target. It's tough when the skip moves the broom on you like that.
Yeah,
you got to reset.
Side to side of the house.
It's looking like a nice weight for a guard.
Yeah,
and
maybe
I think it might curl a lot here at the end, though.
Yeah,
I think you might over curl.
Gonna be. It's around their top guard. I think they may want to sweep this into the house.
Yeah,
now.
Get it in then. Oh, I guess it's already there. Huh.
Yeah, what this has done is, well, it's come up to second shot.
Okay, well that is not the end of the world there. Nice shot.
No, that's a nice shot. It doesn't end up covering their shot rock at all, but it does give them a little bit of insurance.
Todd is asking for bumper weight. At least I'm assuming that's what their signal was when he patted his
no, this is
rump.
Yeah, that's control weight usually.
Oh, well what's...
No, wait, this is control. This is bumper. You're right.
Every team has their own communication style, so it doesn't really matter what we think, so long as they understand what they're calling. They are sweeping to hold this out because it is moving.
It is. It does look. It looks like they've got.
They've got it. The
shot
question
rock.
is, will they stick around?
They're not going to stick though.
Well, they sort of are.
Well,
indeed. That might even be biting in the back. I
think that's second shot. Yeah, that's clearly second shot.
Right. So yellow is still sitting shot in the top 8 foot, biting the 12 foot. We talk about these rings by their diameters. It's 12-foot diameters, that blue ring. The color doesn't matter, by the way. The outside ring at a curling house is a 12-foot diameter, so we'll call that the 12-foot. That, in our case, white ring, and usually white ring is the 8-foot, and then we've got a 4-foot diameter circle.
And then the button or the lid.
The button or the lid is that little 1-foot area with our logo. And then the T is the very precise center of the house where the T line and the center line cross.
This looks like a real nice draw as well.
It does. I think I would want to sweep it a little.
I would sweep it a little bit, but
you know, I'd want to sweep it just a little bit, but they don't need it. They're right.
That's first and second shot.
Whew. Good judgment.
Just by the skin of their teeth. But
nice judgment. Todd is not going to leave these yellow rocks.
Yeah, he can't get the double.
He can get the shot rock.
Yeah, he can get the shot rock. When rocks are set up like that, you kind of automatically think about the double. But one, there's a guard that takes away the side that he wants to hit. And two, if he threw the guard, it would jam on his own red rock.
I think they were a little tight because they are sweeping this right out of the hand.
This is tight.
I think that guard is going to do its job.
It is?
It sure is.
And it might. No, it's going to clear off to the side. That's fine.
I enjoy talking with Nick through these games because we're like, it might no. Hopefully you're following along and understanding our guttural grunts at this point. I'm sorry, we're bringing you quality webcasting for the Potomac Curling Club.
I can't believe TSN hasn't hired me to replace their team yet.
I know, right? All right.
It
So
looks like Jordan tapped her broom for the guard, but I think that based on where her broom is, that's not what she's likely to end up with.
no, I think not. I think you're going to come behind that red rock if you have
Yeah.
enough weight, or you're going to guard
This doesn't look like it's got a lot of weight, and it doesn't look like
It's a little narrow too.
Yeah, it looks narrow. It looks like they're going to end up,
Touching that red rock or guarding it.
yeah, guarding that red rock. It
Yeah.
doesn't look like they're going to get there.
No. Well, all right.
Todd still can't throw the double here. He might normally
I
want
think
to.
he can.
We can, but I think
He's
that
gonna jam, though,
the
huh?
back rock jams on the.
I think it spills. I think both the red rock and the yellow rock go.
If he hits it hard enough, it'll spill.
I think he's just looking at the one and flop behind cover.
Yeah, I think that's probably the smarter call.
I think that if you hit that to flop behind cover, you're going to jam that yellow on the red, though.
Yeah,
I think I'd
it's
throw
true,
the double if
but
you're going to lose the red anyway.
I-
We're talking about that red on the right,
Yeah,
right
I
in front of
think-
John's feet.
But if you throw the double, then you leave the center open.
Sure.
If you throw the hit and flop under,
I'm just thinking take out as many yellow rocks as you can at this point. You've got a lead.
yeah, I like because I think you can get rid of that yellow rock without losing the red rock and still get a little bit of flop towards the center.
Okay, let's find out. I think that is the call.
I think that's the call.
So let's see if this
I think it's there.
execution makes it. I think you're right with a little flop. I don't think you're going to go
Yeah,
very far.
you're not going to flop to the center of the house, but I think you can flop, maybe even behind the other yellow rock.
Well, I'm not sure that's a great spot, but okay.
Well, there's that.
They're coming up to let it
Yeah,
curl
they
because
swept
right now
that-
they're kind of nosing.
They swept that hard out of his hand, and it looks like it's going to.
They dragged it out a bit.
Yeah, it looks like they're
Nosed
right
it.
on the nose.
Okay, well that's it's all right.
Not bad. It still does leave Diamond State sitting shot.
It does.
Um,
If I were them, I think I'd be drawing behind cover.
Either drawing behind cover or tapping that up.
Yeah, you could do that, but
But
Yeah.
it's very precarious right now. It is just
it's going to
barely
be
shot.
tricky. You know what I might want to do? Oh, I'm so greedy. But you need points right now.
You need points.
I kind of like wicking that yellow that's in the house to split it behind the reds on the right and have your shooter roll to the left.
Yep, I like that. I like the split.
That's a very precise shot, though.
It does require a lot of precision.
But it's not a bad plan B. I think they're going for the draw or the tap.
Yeah, I mean, you can throw kind of a draw sort of a weight, and if you're a little heavy, you can play the wick, and if you're a little light, then you've got a guard. So there's
Plan B and C.
Exactly. You got alternatives here.
And that's really key in social curling for me when I'm curling, particularly with inexperienced curlers or curlers that are new to your ice or whatever. Like, it's important to have plans B, C, D, and E in mind.
As many alternatives
Give
as
yourself,
possible.
when I'm calling a shot, all things being equal, I'm going to call the shot that gives me the most other options,
Right.
just in case. Same thing when I'm throwing the rock, too,
Yeah,
because I'm not
exactly.
that great a shot. So I like to leave myself as many options as possible for if I'm wide or narrow or
Exactly.
light or heavy or whatnot. So this rock looks a little light to me, but the
does.
sweepers seem to agree because they're on it.
It's also a little bit wide. I think she might have just pushed it out a little bit. We've seen the rocks curl really hard at the end.
I don't think it's going to with the sweeping. Yeah, I think it's just going to come down.
they're
to
gonna
the
end up
reds.
sweeping
I
it
don't think that's great. They're
into-
going to tap with the red one, and now it's shot.
That's a bit unfortunate that they've
That's
tapped
unfortunate.
the rock to shot.
Yeah.
The weight wasn't bad, actually. The weight was probably about T weight, just didn't quite get on the line.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it was quite T, but close.
Close.
If I were Todd, I think I'd probably just take out that yellow rock and kind of take control of the top of the house there.
Yeah, I think that's probably the call.
Yeah.
The only danger here is if he overcurls a bit and ends up jamming sideways.
True.
But he's taken pretty generous ice here. I think that
Yeah.
he's aware that the pro side is to be a little bit wide.
Well, again, you gotta put it out there.
Yep.
I do like the coordinated shirts. It makes him look like a
It does.
team.
I think
Chip
it's-
is waving his hand. It's a hit, he realizes, I think. So it should be up.
Yeah, it
And
looks
they're
like it's going to come
sweeping.
real nice.
Yeah. They're
He's gonna-
massaging the ice a little bit up, down.
He's
up,
going to
down.
catch the outside of that yellow rock.
That's fine. That's a good shot.
Nice, good shot. Voids the jam in the back,
Prevents the
leaving
deuce.
leaving Jordan with
draw.
basically a draw.
Yep.
Even if she makes this triple, which is
You
dubious.
can't.
Not
I mean, you got.
like even if she made it, which I'm not
No.
saying it's dubious because of her talent, but because I'm not sure that it's lined up right.
You'd have to make the quad. You can't make the.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way.
There's that other shot way over on the left at the
Yeah.
side of the house that
Yeah.
takes
That's what I'm
away
saying.
from that.
Nope. All the nopes. You got to draw.
So got to draw.
You're being forced to the draw. So I wonder why Todd doesn't have a matching shirt here.
I wonder if maybe he does, and he's just wearing the jacket because he's cold.
Oh, well, he is skipping.
I have seen this shirt before. They have a team shirt that's got sheep sliding into a slaughterhouse.
That's true, and they all have different logos on the back. There's Bleeding Heart. There's Bad Idea.
John doesn't have one. I wonder if he got the leftover of the lot of 5 they ordered.
Could be. It's very cute, though. I like the shirts.
It is. It's very cute. I mean,
In a
as cute as
hideous, horrible slaughter scene can be.
yeah, exactly. As cute as a shirt can be with dead sheep on it. It's pretty cute. This rock looks like Jordan just got a little bit outside again, and it's
Yeah.
running really straight out here.
It is.
She's going to
help
hit her
Randy.
own rock a little bit. Actually,
Oh, go, sweet.
she
Good
might have
hits on
gotten
sweeping.
shot out of that.
I think she did. Outstanding. Go Plan B. 1 yellow.
Real
All right.
nice.
Good job.
Not the way she drew it up, but a point is a point.
Hey, I love it. Get some. On the board, baby.
And Diamond State is visibly excited, very happy about that, and understandably so.
Absolutely. They've earned it. They've made some good shots, so they've
Absolutely.
had some good strategy. And it was overdue.
Yeah, exactly. And for that, they get the joy of throwing the
Shooting
first
first.
rock.
Well, we've talked about this before. When you score without the hammer, it's called stealing, and I'm a huge fan of it. I love to steal. Well, I mean, on the curling situation.
in curling, she likes
In
to steal.
curling, I like to steal. It's my favorite thing to do in curling, other than socialize and,
Other than socialize,
and
yeah.
stuff, and teach and be taught
You
and sweep.
basically all the things.
I love curling.
All
It's
of the
such a
things
good
about
game.
curling are all the best things about curling.
They really are. All right, well, this is going to be a good guard to start them out, I think. They've got to get it across. Oh, no.
Oh, just a little bit short.
Oh, I spoke too soon. I'm sorry.
Great line, though.
Yes. Todd is just going to put it right in the house. He's not messing around. TJ, get your mind out of guards. Put a rock in the house.
He's been doing such wonderful guards all game. He's going to have to
Yep, make an adjustment.
make an adjustment, see if he can do it. If
I-
not, we'll make fun of him.
I do love that these arena curlers practice ready play.
Yes.
As soon as the shooter clears the hack, they are grabbing their rock and getting in the hack and being ready to go, which you have to do to move the game along. I love prompt play, and I really despise slow play. So great job.
Yeah, it really helps the game move along if people are ready to throw when.
I can't make fun of him because he just threw a really great
That was
draw.
pretty nice. You can't really complain about
I
that.
really can't.
If it had gone another 6 inches, it might have been a little bit better. But like, I know.
Picky.
Yeah, you skip a couple games and all of a sudden you think you know what you're talking about.
I've skipped skipping this year.
No skipping for you this year?
I'm vicing in the TGIF late,
Nice.
which unfortunately our TGIF late league takes a hit on when we host these Bonspiels.
It's true.
We don't get to play in our normal leagues on Friday, and unfortunate for me, ice is slippery. We're having a tough time getting up here.
Yeah.
Hope she is okay.
Ice is slippery and
Yeah, there she goes.
you're
She's up.
sliding around on things.
It's ice. It's slippery. It's hard. It's
slippery and
cold
hard.
and it's wet, and that's the order you discover it in.
That is true. That is true. Everyone falls on the ice at least once. The talent is falling right.
Yes, I'm rubbing the back of my head.
Yeah.
We've all done it. Ice
that
is
is
slippery.
that is the last part you want to hit is your head.
Yeah, well, don't let this dissuade you. There's lots of other parts of your body that are more likely to hit the ice, and they don't take damage as much.
Yeah. They
It's
bounce.
fine. Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good.
All right.
TJ
So
looks like he's going to be asked to remove this yellow rock.
I haven't seen him throw a hit. He may have thrown some and I ignored them.
Yeah,
But I think this is going to overcurl.
yeah, I think so too. I think it's a little less weight than Todd maybe expected.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, did it reverse handles?
It looks like it reversed handled. I think that
Wow.
TJ is so good, he can do something entirely wrong and it still turns out right.
You know, sometimes the luck is with a team, and it doesn't really matter what they do.
That is true. That is true.
It's just like sometimes the luck is against a team. It doesn't
It
really matter what they
matter
do. So
I have definitely been on both sides of that equation. I have
Me
won
too.
games and lost games that I shouldn't have.
no, I think we all have. So Sharon is cleaning the bottom of her rock. She's in the hack. She's ready to go. I love this ready play.
Yeah, one of the advantages of arena play is that because you don't have very much time to get in the game, it encourages the kind of like quick.
This looks like it's curling right over here, and I wonder if maybe when she was cleaning the rock, it didn't work out as well
Yeah,
as
or
we'd
she
like.
didn't release it particularly well. It looks like
Yeah.
just not got the legs to get there.
Yep. Of course, when you deliver a stone in curling, your rock needs to get past the far hog line. That's the thick blue line out there. To be in play, it has to be all the way past, not just touching. That's what happened in the first rock of, was it this end? Yes. And also, the other hog line, the one at the end you're delivering from, you have to let go of the rock before the rock touches, which is to say breaks the plane of that hog line. So you got to let go of your rock before it touches the hog line. Not a problem for new curlers or people like me. Is a problem for people like Nick who slide a long way, or like, you know, some of these other curlers.
I've been known to get pretty close to the near hog line.
But
and
curling is a self-officiated sport with the exception of at the highest levels. So if you did accidentally hang on to your rock too long, Nick, what would you do?
You would pull that rock.
That's right. If
You would, first of all, you would say that I hogged this rock.
Yeah.
And then you would have that rock pulled from the game.
Right, just for that end. I mean, they
Just
don't
that
remove it permanently.
You only get 7 from now on.
No, but it's, and again, one of the nice things about curling, kind of like golf, these crazy Scottish sports, they're self-officiated. You're expected to be a gentleman and gentlelady and follow the etiquette of the game, which includes calling your own fouls should one be accidentally occurring.
And for the most part, it works. Certainly at the club level.
Absolutely.
No one's so uptight that it matters.
Right, right.
To be entirely honest. Sometimes club games can be competitive, but they're not so...
There's not as many high stakes.
Yeah, it's more about getting out there and enjoying yourself. And some people enjoy the competition, and some people enjoy good curling, and they want to do it by playing well and not by cheating.
Yes, well, I think we all, at every level, that should be the case.
Absolutely. Pretty decent little result there.
Yeah, definitely. Chip is
Tapping
going to
back
try
the
to
rock.
attack that red rock. Again, it's very lightweight.
Yeah.
They took a little more ice, though. I don't
Chip
know
has
if they
not
took
been
enough.
overthrowing his hits this game,
No,
which is not a problem if you've roomed for
It's
it.
going to break. Yeah, Todd is saying down weight. It's already passed.
It is
it's
passed.
too late to hold it.
May
Let's
get
see if it can.
through the hood.
Jordan's going to defensively sweep this out, I think, or to the back.
Just to the back.
Just to the back. Okay.
It looks like it's third shot. She did sweep it past where the yellow rock is.
I could have sworn Todd called for a hit, but
I
maybe Chip
thought
didn't
so,
understand
too.
that shot.
That looks like a pretty heavy draw. A pretty light hit.
It's a tweener.
It is a tweener. I wonder, maybe he did call for a draw.
Maybe. So the third for Hot Rocks.
Hot Rocks. Rocas Calientes.
Thank you. Is Kevin, and he is sliding out with his first rock of this, the fourth end?
Fifth
2,
end.
3, 4, yeah, 5.
Looks like they were calling for the draw. I think he slid a bit narrow. It looks like he didn't get quite out to Jordan's broom.
Yeah.
And that's going to curl pretty much right off the sheet.
Yeah. If it stays, it won't be doing a lot. No, it's off.
It's off, yeah. Unlike the hog lines or the back line, once a rock touches one of these red sidelines, it is out of play.
That's true. I can't see if it came out of play or not. It may be right on the edge.
It looks like it's right on the edge.
Okay.
It is guarding literally nothing, but like it's not even guarding a part of the house.
Oh dear.
But
Well,
it is.
Chip has it. I mean, it's in play.
They've left it on the sheet. I'm not sure that it's actually in play.
All right, so this time we've got that hit. John Hale stepped up and did the job and took it out and rolled into the house. So
And all of the with the exception of that one that's hanging out on the edge, all of those red rocks are in a line pretty much.
Yep.
And they're all behind a guard.
Yes, they're nicely positioned.
Which makes life just that much more difficult for Diamond State. If they can get a rock in that group, they'll be in good shape.
That's true. Just draw in and use that fortress that's been built for their own purposes.
Exactly.
All right, so Kevin slid out and...
again, a little tight,
but
not getting out quite all the way to the broom.
Yeah.
But she gave him quite a lot of ice, so
did.
that might actually end up being okay. This looks like the legs are okay, certainly around the guard.
Yeah, it's a little bit slight, I think, but...
Yeah, just a little bit.
The line is good.
May end up just
into the house.
Just to the house.
Yeah. All right.
Unfortunately, that's behind a guard, so there's not a whole lot they can do with that rock.
Yep, it's what I like to call a guard-to-guard.
Yeah, it's meta guard. You could probably...
I think you just use it as a fortress now.
Yeah, I think right now we're kind of playing the who can get to the draw first.
Yeah, I think they're splitting the house here.
Yeah. Todd's going to try to split the house to distract Diamond State, but I think that Diamond State really has to play for the steal at this point.
Absolutely.
Both because of the score and because of the way the house is looking right now.
You can't hear me agree with Nick because I pushed my microphone up so I can eat my now stone-cold soup here, but oh my God, it's still so tasty.
Still so good. Real nice draw there by John, though.
I love the ambient noises, the hurry and the whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really can't hear Jordan anymore. I heard her early on. I don't know if her mic has slipped out of position or what.
Yeah.
I pushed her feet all the way up, but I just don't hear what she's saying. So
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let that ride. We're hearing some stuff on the ambient mics, but I don't know who it is.
My bet is Alan. Alan makes a lot of noise.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You know, it's an advantage to have a skip who makes a lot of noise because you can hear them.
It's unfortunately a disadvantage for everyone else because then it's hard to hear anyone else.
That's true. I tend to use a lot of hand signals in conjunction with yelling because it doesn't help if they don't look, though.
Right, but
and I will say that I am probably the only person out there when I'm yelling sweep who also follows with the word please. So if you hear please, it's probably me asking somebody to sweep.
That is probably true. I don't tend to ask politely.
Well, I'm not going to be heard out of all the guys that are yelling. So I got to make my voice heard somehow.
That's true.
Got to be different.
Jordan throws the rock. The weight looks okay. It looks like it's a little tight.
Yeah.
She may get to the face of... No,
she might wick off her own and roll in. Shaking it up a little. Well, that's a good spot for that rock. It's not in shot position, but she should be able to tap it up or
she can do
draw around
something with it.
Yeah.
And I think it does outcount that rock on the far left that John just threw.
Well, that's true.
And it actually, I think
and
it
the
also...
one on the back.
Yeah, it counts on the
so
back
it's
too.
Fourth
shot, yeah. There's a bit of a fisheye effect. So it could be close to the one on the far right, but I'm pretty sure
No,
that's
I'm pretty
shot.
sure it's fourth. I haven't sat down this entire game.
You haven't. I've been sitting the whole time.
You're lazy.
I hurt my back.
Oh, no.
I'm so old.
Were you sweeping?
No, I was picking up a towel. Let this be a lesson. Never clean your room. Children at home, tell your parents that you'll never clean because it'll hurt your back.
I'm also old. You know, I have a lidocaine patch right here on my back. And that's actually why I've been standing up, is because my back is sore and I didn't want to sit down. We're old.
We are old. Todd
that
trying to
rock
remove that
is-
rock. Todd kind of suffering
Did.
from an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah.
Kind of throws the accidental double. I don't think he was intending to do that.
Nope, he did, and stuck around.
And stuck around, so he's now sitting 6. Which is a lot.
Which is a lot.
The only rock that they have played that is not actually in the rings is
Is a
this
guard.
long, long guard.
Yep. So if I were Jordan, I would not go anywhere near
Yeah,
that rock.
nowhere near it.
Good draw. Yeah,
They're-
like they're doing. Draw in.
There's no reasonable possibility of an 8 under, but
No. But it's.
but
you
it's 7 is still pretty rare.
But hopefully she won't
But
do that.
hopefully it
She's
won't
gonna
be that.
draw and get behind cover and make
if she-
them work.
Exactly. If she can get behind cover, she may end up stealing this end. And that's
Absolutely.
one of the great things about the sport is that no matter how dim it looks, there's usually, I won't say always, there's usually something to be done.
Absolutely. And that's why the skips get the big bucks, such as it is.
Yeah. They get the pat on the back and a hearty well done.
They get the name on the sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They get to be called the X rink.
Yes. All right, so
Uh,
Jordan has.
Rock is away.
Yep.
Line is much better this time.
It is. I like her slide, by the way.
I don't know about the weight. The sweepers are on it pretty hard.
I think that's okay. I think they need to be.
Over the hog line now, sliding in. Looks pretty good, actually. It's
Yeah.
not going to bury, but it is going to be
It's going to
shot
be shot.
rock.
It's going to be a great shot right to
Right to the
right to the
forefoot.
top of the 4. That's a great shot. It
That's
is
a great
shot.
shot.
Well done. You've
And
done
they're
what you could do. I mean, I would have liked it to be undercover a little bit better.
Right.
But you know what? You put yourself in a position to put the pressure on Todd. Now he's got to
Second.
make the hit.
He has to make a shot now.
Yep.
But this is one of the other most difficult shots in curling. The most difficult shots in curling are in order: the open draw, the open hit, and then the shot you just threw.
I don't think that's the order. I think the shot you just threw, followed by the open draw, followed by the open hit.
That was ascending order.
Oh, okay.
Third, second, first.
Okay.
And
And here is the rock underway. They are not sweeping
they're
it.
not
They
sweeping
want it
that.
to curl.
they nice gentle
They're
weight,
say-
so it should come back a
They're
little bit.
hauling never, never.
Looks like it's got enough
They
of
got
it.
it. Yeah, they got it.
He's going to lose his shooter, but
That's
I
okay.
don't think he's going to be upset with taking 6.
6, yeah. Eesh.
It is true that Todd's team here gets a lot more ice time than
Jordan's team, yeah.
Jordan's team. So, and they get a lot of their ice time at this club, so they're much more familiar with the ins and outs of the rocks and the ice here.
That's true.
But again, it's not that Diamond State is not showing talent. It's just that they're taking their times finding their leg. Not taking their time, but
It takes time
takes
to
time.
adjust to this new environment.
Yeah.
It's a very different world, and my hat's off to anybody who crawls on arena ice, because that is so difficult. My spouse was out in Texas for training once, and she was able to pick up a game at the Dallas Fort Worth
awesome.
Club. This is years ago now, and it was arena ice. It was a league night. She was able to go out and spare in and get a game, and it was so foggy they couldn't. They had to hold the brooms up as a target instead of down on the ice.
Because you couldn't see
Because
it.
you couldn't see.
Because it was sublimating.
Because there's so much fog coming off the ice.
That's crazy.
In addition to the other conditions you have, like they had fog. I can't.
I
just can't.
I've never played on foggy ice.
Me
I will
either.
say.
I mean, actually, I did a little bit, but not like that.
Not like that. That's
That's
nuts.
cuckoo, yeah. But, you got to do what you got to do to get ice time.
Yeah, sure.
And curling is that addictive.
It really is. Right after I started, I want to say my second year. Right after my second year, I was curling 5 nights a week.
Yes.
And
Sure.
that will burn you out real quick, especially when it's an hour drive to get to the club. But
It's addictive.
You start doing it and you just can't stop. Luckily, it's a healthy addiction, unlike all of the other addictions I've also picked up in the meantime.
Right. It's like leagues are like potato chips. You can't have just one.
Exactly.
All right. So this is good weight.
That's
Really
a
good
very
weight.
nice weight,
Yep,
yeah.
And that's actually a very usable rock. I don't mind that position because you need rocks to score points, and they need points.
They need points, and
That's fun.
it's going to be really difficult for them to get rid of that. Like, they
Yeah.
could, in theory, hit that rock because it is in the rings, but
Right.
it's just in such a difficult place to get rid of. Jessica has been playing wonderfully. She's actually
really
figured
has.
out the weight on
Yeah.
her lead rocks really quickly, and
Yep.
has been doing a great job.
I concur. Fantastic job. And Todd and Jordan are having a good conversation there in the house. It's such a social sport, even in a game with a very disparate score. You can still have a good time and
Oh, yeah.
talk. I'm sure they're talking half curling, half other stuff, like we
Right.
are.
Exactly. Yeah, even though you're opponents, you don't have that kind of like gamesmanship in curling that a lot of sports
It's certainly
do.
not at this level.
Yeah, certainly not at this level.
Yeah.
Everyone is aware that this is primarily a game, and we're here to have fun.
Right, and this is flat out, this is a social bond spill. There's no great stakes on the line for this other than bragging rights. This doesn't lead on to a national or a world competition.
Right.
This is a unto itself weekend event,
We are
and everybody's going to make the semifinals.
exactly. We are playing for free drinks here.
Go.
That was actually a pretty nice tick.
It was. I think it might go
shot.
just
I think
a little
it's
deep.
just
so
out.
now we can talk about one of the rules in curling, and this is the free guard zone.
It looks like they're just ticking it out.
Yeah. So Todd is.
Todd
not
is
worried about it.
elected, yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
ordinarily, ordinarily in
Oh,
the
they're actually going to
okay.
go for it. Okay, so we have this thing called the free guard zone, and a guard is a rock that is between the hog line and the house, but not touching the house. Therefore, it's a guard. And the first, until the second player comes up to play, which is to say the fifth delivered rock
The
of
fifth
the
rock of the
end, that is the first rock that is allowed to take out a guard.
Right.
So the fact that this is only the fourth rock of the end, the second of the lead rocks for the yellow team, it accidentally removed that red rock from play, and because of that free guard zone violation, we've just swapped rocks. Basically, you put back
Exactly.
the rock that was hit to the best of your ability and remove the offending stone.
Right. And most, in fact, everywhere, presently plays with a four-rock zone, four-rock
Yes.
free guard zone. Starting after this Olympics and Worlds section, the world is going to a five-rock free guard zone.
Which
Not
I'm
the
really
world,
excited about. Yeah, the curling rules.
but- Yeah, I think it's the WCF is going to
Right,
yeah.
the World Curling Federation.
Is going to a five-rock free guard zone, which a lot of people are excited about. I have never played with a five-rock free guard zone, and I'm curious how it will change the game, but people are saying that it will create more offense, more scoring.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very excited about it. When I started, they had only relatively recently switched away from a three-rock.
I think
You know,
Canada. I think,
right,
yeah,
it's still-
Canada was still using the three-rock.
They were
free guard
just
zone.
switching over when we
Yeah.
started. Yeah, you and I, at the same age. So yes, they had just switched away from that, and so everybody was still adjusting to the four-rock free guard zone, and now we're going to go to five. And that's very exciting. It's a change.
It is.
And did you know
yeah.
in the mixed doubles, which is the
Yeah.
not this, but the curling field that has the two players on a team,
Right.
with the rocks that are already in play, and there's a bunch of other rules. You can't remove any rock from play, even if it's in the house.
Oh, really?
For
At
the
all?
first,
For the
yeah, you
first-
can't tap anything out until the fifth delivered stone can do stuff.
And there's only 10 delivered stones total.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so it encourages a lot of rocks in play.
Wow.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I enjoy the strategy of the longer, full traditional four-player team. I think that it kind of like it gives more options. There are more things to do, but there are more styles of ends to play. But it is true that in a long game you'll have some ends that are just like hit.
Yes.
And those are not the most fun to watch.
Right, and also this is another change that we've done in curling relatively recently in the last 3 or 4 years. If we switched, so at the competitive level, the games are actually timed. And it's kind of like on a chess clock in that each team has their own time. And it used to be that your time started as soon as the other team's rocks had come to rest. basically.
Right.
Then you were on the clock until your rocks came to rest, and that
Right.
penalized you for throwing draws because they take longer. Now they've switched to a thinking time where the clock is stopped when your rock is in motion. So your only time involved is your strategy time.
When you're thinking, yeah.
Right. And I like that much better because now you can play a draw game and not be penalized, where before you had to play a couple ends where you threw nothing but hits just
So you
to
could
clock
bank
up.
some time.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that has universally been accepted as just far superior. I think that everyone
Absolutely.
really approves of thinking time.
This was a really good line on this rock, but it was just a little light.
Just a little light.
Yep.
But again, they're not in bad position. Diamond State is getting rocks into some good places.
They really
It's just
are.
that they're not quite able to like put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. They're playing not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
they've got good strategy, and they're calling good shots, and they're almost making them. It's just a matter of adjusting to the conditions here, and
Exactly.
they're doing a great job. We're so glad they're here.
Absolutely. We're always happy to get curling has grown up so much in the last 15 years, and there's so many new clubs in the broader area. From the Delmarva Peninsula to Pennsylvania to Virginia and the close south. And for a lot of clubs, this is the closest dedicated ice they can get to.
Yes.
And
yes,
we're
indeed.
really, really, really happy to be able to host them.
Indeed.
And eventually hope that they get their own ice so we can go repay the favor and go visit them.
And
But,
support their club, and yeah, absolutely.
But in the meantime, we're happy to have them come here and drink our beer.
and eat our food.
And eat our food. That rock just goes a little bit long for John. Just a bit too much weight on it.
And Jordan did just enough defensive sweeping that it's the
Yeah,
third rock,
It's
I think.
yeah. I think that it is third shot.
Yeah.
It looks like Diamond State's trying to come around, do the same thing that John just did essentially.
Yeah, but I think they're a little light.
I think they are a little light.
Yep.
It does take away this path,
It does.
which makes it more difficult for Todd to get in.
I think that's still there. It's curling so hard at the end.
It could be. It could be. I think.
And that's a pretty high guard. I think if you get around that, you're cutting hard at that point. You should be able to get in there. But
I think so. But
it does make it harder.
It does make it harder, and I think that it's a bit. It's more complicated than you probably need. There are
Sure.
easier ways to get rocks in the.
And in fact, he's going to take an easier way. He's going to take the path less traveled at
Yeah.
this moment, anyway. He's going to basically put his broom pretty much on the center line and draw through the course, on the left edge of the button there.
Yeah.
He's going to try to draw through that port between the yellow and the red, or tap up the red. I think with that ice is more likely to tap, unless they really speed it up. Am I
he's a
mistaking
bit-
the call? Are
he's
they
a-
going for a hit? No.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think
Looks
they're-
like he's a bit wide here, and also looks a bit heavy.
Yeah. I think the weight's.
He may end up moving his own guard.
They cleared
No,
it.
no, that
Splitting the uprights again.
whatever it was that he was trying to do, that wasn't it.
Chip has also signaled field goal.
Field
Split the
goals in this
uprights.
sport not worth 3 points.
No. Nope. That line would not have been there at a different weight, though.
No,
You'd have hit
sure would
something.
not have. You had to throw exactly the right weight to do that.
Yeah,
Sometimes you do exactly the wrong thing.
true that. So Jordan has got a nice wide broom here, looking to go around this
Yeah,
flock of guards and come in.
she's testing FL's theory here that you can get around those and
Yeah,
and get into
I
the
still
full
think
foot.
it's legit, but I think they need to come off this rock and let it curl.
Yeah,
The weight is down. They
I
got
think
it.
it's light, but it's so far out there. I think that you might have just
Yeah.
flipped that out a little bit.
Come on, get it
but
in, though. They're coming.
the weight was actually pretty nice.
And it is curling back hard at the end. It's just they were just a little far out. But look at how much that
Look
curls
my-
at the end.
My goodness. Well, FL has proven
Sort of.
absolutely correct, and I was my doubt was entirely misplaced.
Woohoo! I will take the victories where I can, on or off the ice. I won my first game of the season on Monday.
Oh, awesome! Congratulations.
Yeah, I was 0-6, and now I'm 1-6. And hey,
Awesome.
you know what? I will take it.
A win's a win.
It is, and my barbell has been so low.
I can't tell if this is shot. I think that the red rock on the top is probably still shot, but it's close.
I agree with you. I believe the red is shot.
But I think Todd's
was a
not going to
great
take
shot,
any,
though,
It was
that
a great
yellow.
shot. And I think she was especially great weight sense because that far out,
Oh,
it's really
yes.
hard to tell how it's going to slow down.
You were-
Todd's not going to take any chances. He's going to just try to hit that rock out.
Yep, I think that's an excellent strategy. Ideally, you'd flop either in or out, but not stay there.
Not stay there. I think there's enough space there. I think a flop in would be good. Not.
I don't. If it were me, I prefer to flop in because wouldn't want to jam in the back. But
Yeah.
flop in or flop out. But either way, don't just nose it because then they can hit and roll.
So it's coming. I think that this is floating the whole way out. Just a little bit more weight, and it doesn't curl at all. And I think he's
Yeah.
going to miss this on the outside.
Little. Yep. You're right.
That wasn't huge weight either. That was probably only backline or probably bumper weight.
Yeah, board to bumper.
Just enough to like reach the boards at the back of the sheet, but just slid out the whole way.
Yeah. It might have been just the line of attack there.
Yeah, it might have been the line. It might have been the release a little bit. Sheet B has traditionally had a bit of a fall on that side.
I haven't actually played on Sheet B yet
Really?
this year. No, I've played 5 of my games on Sheet D, and then 1 each on C and A, and I haven't actually gotten to the featured sheet yet.
I have played a couple of games on B, and I think actually, so in previous years that fall has been there, and I think it's mostly gone now. They've done a pretty good job over the summer of putting in the ice.
Yeah.
I have played, I want to say, 16 games this year.
Nick curls a little more often than I do.
Well, it helped that I played at our first Bonspiel of the year.
Of course, and I do curl on Fridays, and we lose a lot of Fridays to other
Fridays.
events.
So yeah, so I got 6 games in that first Bonspiel.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't feel so bad.
And yeah, and boy,
And I've
was
lost 3 already to the
exhausting.
Friday night league, being taken over by other things. But all in a good cause. This is a great event. Last week we
absolutely.
hosted a juniors Bonspiel, great
right.
event. And then we hosted the inaugural Bonspiel, or
the glitter Bonspiel.
yes, the glitter bomb. Loved
They are
it.
the as far as we can tell, country's first LGBT Bonspiel, which we were so excited to host. And
It looked like so much fun. I had already booked a cruise by the time we put that Bonspiel in place, and I did go on the cruise, and I had a great time. But I would have loved to have participated in that Bonspiel.
I'm sure. And we had a good turnout. We had 16 teams. We had a lot of positive feedback, and I'm really hopeful that we can make that an annual thing.
That'd be great. And next year I'll try not. Well, I already have a cruise booked.
When is it booked? We'll try to get the board to move
September
it.
29th through October 13th or
That's
12th. I don't know. It's 2 weeks.
It may be that weekend. It may be that last weekend.
That's what happened this time. I was getting off the ship on the Saturday. It was too late.
We could come
This is a little wide out there. It got
Yeah.
out to the sideline, and as we talked about, once you touch the sideline, you're out of play.
on the red line is bad.
Yeah. Yep. Just got a little, just like Todd's. It floated out a bit.
Yeah, with weight, they're really floating out there.
Yep. So Todd's going to try again for this hit. And we'll see if we've learned our lesson with the floating out with the weight.
Exactly. And it wasn't that he threw too much weight last time, I don't think.
No,
it was just that it.
you need a tighter line.
Yeah, I think he's moved the broom in a little bit.
Just not much, a little bit. And I think he was a little wide on the broom last time.
It could be.
So he's going to take just a tiny bit less ice and be a little bit more precise in his release and continue to have controlled weight. We'll see what happens. I think that's the plan. Doesn't look that controlled.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty big weight, and it looks like he
Looks a
turned the
little
rock.
wide.
He put it out a little bit again, and I
Yeah.
think it's going to float right on by again.
Well, let's see. But I agree.
Well,
with you.
actually,
Oh, no.
no, they're calling on it now. I think they're calling to keep. They're sweeping
they
to
don't
keep
want
it
to tip it,
outside. They don't
yeah.
want to take it in.
Yeah. Well, that was a good heads-up call. Like
Yeah.
You're not going to make the shot. Let's not make our situation worse.
Exactly. If they tick that a little bit, then that pushes the yellow rock in, and all
Right.
of a sudden they have a chance of getting 2.
Exactly.
So we do have. This is the hammer coming up.
It is. And they're wisely selecting the same basic shot. To do another draw. We just threw this shot. We've seen the ice. We know not to get as wide out there.
Yeah, I
We
think
can make this draw.
if it were me and I were down by
Mumbly mumble.
13 points,
Yeah.
I would try this double yellow run here. That way you get 3 out of it.
Right. I gotcha.
But that's
It's a tough shot.
kind of high level curling, and it's a tough shot. And also, I'm pretty.
Desperation time. Yeah.
I mean,
Hail Mary.
you need points, and at this point, frankly,
Right, but I think this is the first game of this Bonspiel. They're learning the ice, and I think
Exactly.
it's very wise and patient of them
exactly.
to throw this draw.
Yeah, no, and I mean, they're out here for some ice time and to throw some rocks on dedicated curling ice, and you're not gonna get out and just start calling circus shots. That's not
That's true.
how the game
It's
works.
not going to help you improve your game any.
Exactly.
And this is actually really great.
This is actually
line.
really nice. The line on this is perfect.
It
It looks like
needs
it's
a little
just
bit more weight, but oh my God, what a
just
great
not
throw.
quite enough weight.
Just needed 2 more feet.
That, I mean, the line was perfect
It
on that
really
rock.
was. Well done. It was good strategy, good call. And they're going to look at these rocks and decide.
It
and
looks
they
like
agree
one
it's
red, yep.
One red, yep.
Lots of rocks in play. It's been a,
I love that.
yeah. It's a lot more fun to watch a game with the rocks in play.
It really is. In fact, I love looking across at all these sheets, the ones that were currently at our end, which is the sheets bordering us, A and C. I'm sorry, I don't know how to turn cameras if we even can. There's a lot of rocks in play.
Yeah, there are a lot of rocks in play.
Which is great because remember, we've got that arena club next door to us on sheet A, and they are getting a ton of rocks in play.
They are, and
making a game of it.
yeah, they're making a game of it. They are down, but they're sitting shot now, and they're getting pretty good placement out of their rocks.
Yeah.
And they're playing a pretty good team, a pretty good local team. I know all the guys on that team, and I've played against them a bunch of them, and they're all really capable.
There are no slouches over there.
In fact, in the earlier broadcast, I was talking about my Sunday team, and one of the guys on that team plays on my Sunday team.
Aha. Aha. Which guy?
Kyle.
Ah, very good. Got to give, shout outs to your teammates.
That's right. Kyle Snyder. Journeyman curler.
There's not actual rankings like that, is there? Because if so, nobody ever told me I must still be like a pre-apprentice.
Right, like, what's like novice? Trainee?
Trainee. I love her delivery.
Yeah, she's got a great delivery, and she's like as I said earlier, she's had a great sense of the
weight
of the
and
weight.
the line. She's adjusted faster.
She is. She's doing a great job.
Yeah, very solid. Great job out there, Jessica.
And that's a really nice guard.
Sure enough.
It's just a little bit off the center line, but
which I don't mind considering where the red is. I think that's a good place for it.
Exactly. You don't want to end up covering up the red rock. So that's a
fine job.
Fine job. We have a bit of an anomalous situation on sheet C. I know you can't see it, but we do have a rock that has not crossed the hog line, but it is nevertheless in play.
Oh, is it one of those rules?
Because it has
love it.
made contact with a rock that was next to the hog line.
So if you touch a rock in play but haven't fully crossed the hog, you're still okay.
You're still okay. Ordinarily, that is not a valid rock, but in this situation, I have seen games where there have been rocks fully on the wrong side of the hog line.
As have I, and it's not usually on purpose.
Not usually on purpose. There's very seldom reason to do that.
Although a good tap-up would be entertaining.
That would be entertaining. Just a bit short of the house here on that draw. Good line, just not quite there. Looks like Jordan's calling for the hit here.
All right. I want to see this.
With a little roll underneath, that'd be a real nice result.
Sure would. Again, a beautiful slide.
That's a great delivery.
It really is. I'm jealous.
Maybe just a bit in out, but it looks like the line's pretty good. I don't think they need to be sweeping this.
No,
oh yeah, they do.
Does,
they do. Yep.
It's good. A little flop, maybe. I think they're gonna.
Little roll.
Just a little flop.
Oh, what a beautiful shot!
What a beautiful shot!
What a beautiful shot!
Yeah, applause from the booth. She's not looking up.
She's not looking at us, but that's fine. That was a great shot.
That really was. Gold star for this end. She made both her shots.
Yeah, that's all you can do, right? You get in the hack, you throw your shots, and listen to directions, and that's
right. Try to have good judgment and have fun.
Well, that's the most important thing.
Speaking of having fun, I'm gonna put my mic down for a second and go to the bar.
Go for it.
Can I get you anything?
I mean, if you're off, sure. I would love a beer.
Okay. What
not that I drink.
What are you not drinking?
I've had the rye.
What's that?
The rye.
Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
So I am left to carry the commentary, and I apologize on behalf of everyone. Looks like they were trying the run back, or else the split didn't quite get the job done. I'm going to spill that yellow out to the back of the house. Looks like they're sitting 2. I don't know how much of the shot rock can be seen from the hack, but as is often the case, your best guard is a second shooter, or second counter. So Jordan asking for another rock in the house. Sweepers are on this one pretty early. doesn't look like it's got quite the legs for the house. It may be good enough for a guard. Real close. Not quite there. No, not quite. Very close. If it had gotten across, it actually would have been a really nice guard for the shot rock, which is now what Todd is asking Chip to aim for. Nice hit weight. Clean release. Line is good, says Chip. He's very confident in his own abilities. They're on the broom now, then off. Gonna thread that needle. Oh, they are. Just got past the guard. Oh, and a little bit of a bonus. Or actually, anti-bonus. A little bit of a little jam on the back there. Didn't quite clear the rock, so giving Diamond State a chance to get another rock in the house here. Just a little more weight they're looking for on this one.
I'm back from the bar. I brought Nick his beer, but it was so over full, thank you to our bar staff, that I had to drink a little bit on the way. Thanks for sharing, Nick.
It is absolutely my pleasure. I'm very aware that you don't have cooties, so it's all good.
Well, I probably do, but we've been curling together a long time.
That's
it's all
true.
Good. And alcohol kills everything.
Alcohol kills everything.
Oh,
yellow?
so they upgraded their position in the house, it looks
Yeah,
like.
a
Okay.
little bit of a removal. It wasn't a little bit of a removal. The rock was in fact removed, but
that moved their shot rock closer
exactly.
to the tee.
It is not a bad result. Todd asking for John to draw behind cover, it looks like.
Okay. I like this call.
I do too.
It looks zippy to me, but maybe I'm not.
Line looks pretty good. It depends on how bad it's going to curl. I think he's fine. Is it heavy?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's
I
a
see.
little.
It's curling hard enough. It's going to be in the back of the house.
It's
but
going to
not-
stick around. Oh, it's going to be shot. Okay, it dug in. Wow, it really dug in at the end.
Yeah, it really.
All right.
They're
Huh.
really turning really hard in the last few
Yeah,
feet.
they are.
That's actually overburied the guard a bit.
It did.
You can more easily get to that from the side that they just came from, even
Yeah.
though it's poking out a bit on the far
Right,
side.
and
of the
they
guard.
have picked up on that, and that's indeed what the call is,
Yep.
is to just follow them down.
Yep.
Love that plan.
They just showed you the line.
Yep, just do that.
This has got good rotation on the rock. The line looks pretty good.
It does. It looks pretty good.
They're on it now.
Easy there. Whoa.
Yeah, no, it looks like actually it's still floating. Maybe it's a bit of
Yeah.
maybe a bit more weight.
Easy.
No, actually, that's going to be a real nice
It's got to
shot.
sit down. It's got to sit. Oh, that's such a pretty
Right.
rock. Wow.
Right on the
Skips
lid.
rock. Again, applause from the booth.
The rock stops right on the lid. That is really nice. It's you can see it from the hack, but to remove it, you have to hit it on the side where it jams on the red rock. So
Yep,
it's
perfect.
really nicely placed rock.
It really is. John Hale's pre-shot ritual involves a whole lot of rock spinning.
Everyone has their own little rituals. and
Mine
some-
involve braid flips, I think.
Mine involves bouncing up and down in the hack, I think.
Ooh, that sounds terrible on your knees. That just, ooh.
Yeah, that's
That's the other spot where I have the lidocaine patch.
maybe that's one reason my knees aren't so good anymore. I don't
Maybe.
know. So I think they were trying to come down to maybe push the yellow rock a little bit, a little tight, wrecked on the guard.
Well, that is
But that's
true.
not the end of the world for Moyer's team because that does open up. Now they can see both sides of the yellow rock.
Absolutely. And so Jordan wisely is calling for the guard.
Exactly.
I'm amazed if these rocks are staying this straight. I would have thought this is not quite enough ice, but, you know, they seem to have figured it out. We'll see.
Yeah, they have.
It
I
looks
think
like
that
a pretty good line. It looks like he was
looks-
close to the broom.
looks like it's close to the room.
And
This
the
may
sweepers are
overcurl a
on
little
right
bit.
away.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure that it's going to not overcurl a lot.
It
but-
may. I mean, I think they want to come off
Oh,
this
they're
now
gonna
and
have
let
to-
it stop
They got to get over the
moving.
hog, though.
It's over, I
Oh,
think.
is it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yes,
close.
it is in fact over the Hawk.
But I don't think they can stop.
You're right. They could not have stopped that rock.
It actually wound up much closer to the center than I really thought that was going to curl more.
You know, I thought it was too. I thought it would end up a good foot over to
So
the left.
Jordan is showing me how to play my own ice now. Good job, Jordan.
We're
Well
all
done.
learning things today. It's fabulous.
Well, again, I haven't played this sheet yet, so I'm taking
Oh.
notes.
Everything is straight, but curls. Not a
And-
useful note, but
Awesome. All right.
so I think that guard is the guard that Diamond State just threw is actually
That was Kevin.
side to side. Yeah, Kevin is perfect side to side. It's
really
just
is.
a little bit long. So I think that Todd is going to try to come down with maybe just a bit more than normal draw weight and just move that yellow rock a little teeny bit.
Well, that is certainly a bit more than draw weight. And they're
They're
sweeping
on it
for
anyway.
line. John is.
The ambient mics are
And-
definitely picking up John's voice.
Yes, he's. That's. I can see why he was calling
And
because
yep.
they are all over the guard.
And that guard has done its job in an
has.
exemplary fashion.
It has. It's thrown itself in the way, protected its shot.
Exactly. Like an Imperial Guard soldier or Secret Service agent.
That's very topical to this area and.
It is very topical.
Well,
this area.
topical. That's not right. It's locational.
I mean, it's appropriate for our location. Yeah.
Yes, we're here in the very near the Washington D.C. capital of the country region with all the governmental.
We are, in fact, at the National Capital Curling Center.
We are. Yes, that's right. This facility is the National Capital Curling Center. It just happens to be where the Potomac Curling Club lives.
Right. I was in Ottawa in March for curling.
Curling? Huh.
Shockingly. And so we were talking about the earlier Bonspiel, the LGBT Bonspiel that we were hosting. And we're like, oh, we're in Washington area. It's great if you want to come down to visit. And they're like, oh, how many curling clubs does Washington have? And we're like, what?
Oh.
I don't understand
so
the
sweet.
question. Ottawa has something like
17. No, 17.
17? Oh.
Yes, add the teen, and you're much closer to
Yeah.
the right answer.
Ottawa has a lot of curling.
I used to curl with Mike and Susan from our club, but then they went home to Ottawa.
Oh, right.
I went up there and curled with them at their home club, which has since closed
Which is unfortunate.
for asbestos, I think, actually. But it was the Highland Curling Club,
Oh,
which
okay.
was fantastic. And I went several years, and it was a lot of fun. They did a little cash spiel around Easter. It was a ton of fun. But, yeah, 17 was my recollection.
17.
There was plenty of clubs. and
Plenty
they-
of clubs, yeah.
They didn't fight too hard to keep that one, I think, with the asbestos when they had all the other ones.
That are around, yeah.
Yeah.
A home of Rachel Homan and her
Mm-hmm.
rink, current world champions, I believe. Who remembers? That was last year, anyway.
Yeah, it's a new year. It's a new year. New worlds are coming after the
As
Olympics.
we are entering, with the Olympics especially, the period between mid-February and mid-April is going to be just lousy with excellent curling.
I'm so excited.
You will not be able to turn on the television and not find a high-quality curling game.
Well, actually, you can, but you can turn on the TV and find curling, which is unusual. More likely, you'll see it online, which is cool. There's lots of places
There's
to
lots
go.
of places to see online.
Do check out the 12th End Sports Network. They'll be providing the broadcast for the Olympic trials right up and through the end of the round robin, and for any tiebreakers.
And tiebreakers.
Yep,
Excellent.
leading into the
Which
playoffs.
you could be watching right now, but shouldn't be.
Well, you can watch it on the second
You
screen.
can watch it later.
That's fine, or later. I might watch it later. I'm up all night.
I probably will watch it. Well, and if you're watching curling all night, that means that there isn't some life-threatening situation that you need
Well,
to
I don't work
respond
tonight.
to. Oh, that's right.
I don't work Friday nights.
Friday nights. Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be sleeping now because 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. is prime time sleeping time.
That's perfect sleeping time.
So if I'm a little punchy on the mic, it's because I should be asleep right now. But it's cool. Sleep is overrated.
I want to take naps between 2 and 5 p.m.
That is my sleep.
I'd also like to get paid for it.
It's
but
not a
still.
nap
Oh, well,
if that's your sleep.
3 hours.
Sleep is overrated.
I mean, I enjoy doing things when I'm awake. That's true.
That's not true. I do sleep more than that.
Good.
sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, and I can't complain because I was up till 4 a.m. this week watching curling.
What?
Asia Pacific. So I was like, this is really good curling.
Speaking of really good curling, this is Jordan's hammer shot.
Is it?
Yes,
oh
this
my
is
goodness.
hammer.
I am just.
We've been babbling away, but it is hammer time.
It is hammer time, and she's on the lid.
She is. She's sitting shot.
I don't know what she does here to get more than one.
I don't either.
I kind of think she just throws this rock
I would
away.
also. I mean,
you might try to tap this yellow rock that's
no,
in the 8 foot
oh my gosh,
back
what,
at an angle.
what is
but
she? Oh my gosh,
she's
it's
gonna,
scaring me.
I don't know.
It scares me so much. I mean, it's got.
No. Oh no. Oh no.
I mean, if you were going for the button yourself without stuff there, that was a perfect shot. But unfortunately, it is not a perfect shot. And I think it is one red.
It is absolutely one red,
Not
and that
two.
is
One red.
just unfortunate. And it looks like handshakes. I think that, or either so Todd and Jordan have shaken hands, and
they've decided. Yes.
Yes.
So that is the end of the game. The score is not really a good indicator of how good this match was. There's a lot of good strategy, a lot of good discussion.
There were some excellent shots made by
and there was
both
a lot of
teams.
good ice time for a team that doesn't always get dedicated ice curling time. So that is awesome.
Exactly. But with 7 ends complete, the score mathematically not possible to be made up in one end.
Ooh, yeah. But I'm glad that they got some good ice time, and now they get to repair to the warm room. And it's called warm because compared to the ice shed, of course, you and I are wearing jackets because we're stationary and not curling.
It is about, 65 in the warm room usually. Which compared to the ice shed, which is usually about 45, it feels pretty warm when you step out.
It's a cold day out. It's probably a little colder than 45 out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us here at the Potomac Curling Club. This was our featured game in draw number 2 of the Cuban-themed Embassy Row Bonspiel. We will be back for more curling action today.
Yes. What the next game is at?
That is a great question, Nick. I'm going to be tending bar.
I think the next game is at 4, would be my guess.
Okay. They have a scrape break in somewhere.
Oh, well, then maybe it's now. Then it'll be at 4:30. Who knows?
I'm not sure.
But you know what? Tune in.
But here's the thing. You found us on live stream. You'll get a little notification when we go live again, and that'll be your next curling match from the Potomac Curling Club this afternoon. This very afternoon. On sheet B, we'll be. Oh wait, they're curling back. I thought they shook hands.
They did. I think this is the draw to the pin for tiebreaker
purposes. I forgot about that. Right, they have for tie-breaking purposes. They are doing a last shot draw.
Yeah.
Which they are presumably going to record in the chance that they need it as a tiebreaker. Because remember, they're doing a round robin, and the winner of that round robin goes to the first event. And
it is possible for 3 teams to end up 2-1.
Right, so you might need that tiebreaker. Okay, well, very good. Thank you again for joining us. We're going to log off now, and please rejoin us for more awesome curling action here from the Potomac Curling Club all weekend long. And then in your off hours, feel free to review the Olympic trials that are also being played starting today. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to turn this thing off.